Hi, it's Tony Marino, host of the super popular Newsmax Daily podcast, a rundown of the day's top headlines and top highlights of Newsmax shows and interviews you may have missed, plus some sports, stock markets, and even some yucks, all packed into about 20 minutes. Search for the Newsmax Daily with me, Tony Marino, on your favorite podcast platform, and check out our entire lineup of great podcasts, including Greg Kelly, Rob Carson, and Jerry Callahan at newsmax.com/listen.
About to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
And by the grace of God, it is finally Friday. And I got to tell you, I'm really feeling it this week. It's been a busy week. It's been a crazy week, and we've got a million things to cover today. We're broadcasting on radio stations around the country, including 4 great radio stations in New Hampshire. With Benny Media, I was on the phone with the great Jack Heath, who is just one of the voice of New Hampshire, for God's sake. He's amazing. And we had a lot of fun talking about all the stuff that's on the plate today. I hope that I can see why they don't do fantasy basketball, by the way, because, A, would be incredibly busy with the season and the number of stats, and B, because the mob's involved with the NBA. So there's... Have you seen this story? Oh my God! A massive, the organized crime families involved in the NBA, and maybe some players faking injuries to throw the game and the bets, and then poker. They were involved in poker. You could play poker with like a NBA star, and pay a lot of money to get in, and it turns out the games were rigged, and they had all sorts of people involved from organized crime with names like Duck Duck and maybe Duck Duck Go. I don't even know, but Duck Duck, and wow. This is really Pete Rose is looking down from heaven or wherever he is, going, seriously? I didn't do anything compared to this. I didn't do anything, and I died before they decided they're going to put me in the Hall of Fame. My God, are you kidding me? So that's going on. You've got the shutdown. The Democrats clearly want the shutdown. The Democrat Party is an evil cabal. Honestly, just an evil cabal of people who don't give a rat's behind about the American people. They don't give a rat's behind about people in America's inner cities. They don't give a rat's behind about all of the people missing their paychecks, government employees, and as much as I know the government needs to be cut dramatically, and a lot of people need to be shown the door in the federal government because it's bloated and overstaffed and all of that, it is terrible to miss a paycheck. Terrible to miss a paycheck. And when you miss a paycheck, you don't want to go to work. You don't want to do the work. I know that 94% of federal employees didn't bother going back to work after COVID, but maybe you're going to work now because you want to keep your job, and now you're not being paid. Democrats blocked a bill to pay the military and essential workers during the shutdown because they're a-holes. There you go. I said it. Yeah, I'm not afraid to say it. These people are just complete party apparatchiks. They are bought and paid for, and they're doing a death spiral into hell. And guess what? They're dragging federal employees down with them into hell. I would hope that you look at the ballot on the next election, like maybe here in Virginia, and you say, screw the Democrat Party, because they are just not good people. They've never done anything good for the country, and right now they're just burning the damn place down. Senate Democrats blocked a Republican-sponsored bill Thursday to pay active duty members of the military, other essential federal employees who've been required to work during the federal shutdown. Democrats blocked the Shutdown Fairness Act of 2025, sponsored by Ron Johnson, in a mostly party line vote, 54-45. It needed 60 to advance. Senators John Ossoff, whose dad's name is Jack Ossoff. It is really. Raphael Warnock from Georgia, and John Fetterman. Of course, John Fetterman had his brain reset with a stroke, and it started working again. The legislation would pay service members as well as employees who are determined by agency heads to be accepted from the shutdown who are performing emergency work, among other things. But of course, the Democrat Party didn't want to do that because the Democrat Party are absolutely awful. Absolutely awful. And here's Caroline Leavitt, by the way. 3 pilots unions are calling for Congress to pass the Republican bill to end the government shutdown. The Coalition of Airline Pilots Association, the NetJets Association of Shared Aircraft Pilots, and the Allied Pilots Association, they're all saying pass the damn clean resolution to reopen the government. 13,000 air traffic controllers considered essential workers are working without pay during the shutdown. TSA employees are also forced to work without pay. So when they confiscate your toothpaste tube, they're not going to get paid for it. They're just, when they take your mousse for your hair and whatever they decide is going to be a terroristic threat. Sure, whatever. They're not going to get paid for it. So we fear there will be a significant flight delays, disruptions, and cancellations across the country this holiday season. That's according to Caroline Levitt. Here's Caroline Levitt talking about what the Democrats are doing to flying in America, as though it could suck anymore.
The Democrat shutdown is also causing severe impacts at airports across the country. In one single day this week, the FAA had to issue ground stops impacting flights at Houston's George Bush Intercontinental Airport and Hobby Airport. 13,000 air traffic.
I wonder if Joe Biden has an airport named after. It'll be Joe Biden Incontinental Airport.
Controllers who ensure that we all fly safely are continuing to work without pay. This is egregious and truly sad.
Yeah, it's gross.
Some of them are
But of course, they won't cut their own pay. Congress still getting paid. Democrats don't want any part of that. I mean, how could you possibly, not pay members of Congress who are causing people not to get paid?
Reportedly being forced to turn to driving for Uber and taking on other second jobs to make ends meet as the Democrats continue to shut down the government. Pilots are calling on Democrats to end this dangerous political game. The president of the Southwest Airlines Pilot Association called for the clean continuing resolution to be passed, saying, quote, "Our air traffic controllers and the broader air traffic system are already operating under immense pressure."
Yeah, it is utterly ridiculous. But, the minority whip in Congress the other day, she spilled the beans.
I mean, shutdowns are terrible. And of course, there will be families that are going to suffer. We take that responsibility very seriously, but it is one of the few leverage times we have.
Yes, it's leverage. It's all about leverage. Oh, you people just so beyond suck. I mean, I didn't even know where to start how badly you do. It's like, I don't even know. It's like a vacuum of suck. It's a black hole of suck. That's the Democrat Party. My God. Here is Donald Trump talking about the insanity of the Democrat Party. For instance, they got a government shutdown going on. Donald Trump negotiated a peace deal with Israel. You've got a minerals deal. You've got, great economic news today. All you idiots who said, tariffs are going to destroy the economy. The inflation rate is lower than expected. The economy is steamrolling. You got the tariffs are doing raising all sorts of money and everything, and the economy is rocking and rolling. Here is Donald Trump talking about the insanity of the Democrat Party.
I think the Democrats have gone totally crazy.
They have.
And you don't know what they're going to do because they don't care about the people.
No.
They don't. I really think they have no leadership. They have a lot of very low IQ people. Jasmine Crockett is a low IQ person.
Ooh.
A lot of them are. I don't want to insult too many of them,
no,
but
you should.
A lot of them are. They have no rudder. I don't think they know what they're doing right now. They've never done this before. They always agreed to go and, called an extension. Let's do an extension and talk.
Jasmine Crockett should know about extensions.
Even today, look at what happened today. They don't want to pay the people that have worked and,
she's unbelievable.
This was supposed to be this was a test. And they wouldn't pay the people that have been working. They said, no, we don't want to pay them. This is all the Democrats. Now, all we need is 5 Democrats. And I know a lot of Democrats that are saying they're more than 5. Probably not that many more than 5, but they're more than 5. And all we need is like 5 Democrat votes so we open our country again. Sad, though, we have the greatest economy in our history.
Yeah,
we have the highest stock market. All these things are rocking.
Yep.
We will have by the end of my first year more than $20 trillion of investment.
Yeah.
The all-time record is $3 trillion. I think it's China. We're going to have $20 or $21 trillion. We've never had anything like it coming in because of tariffs. The money pouring into our country.
Yeah, we're kicking butt and taking names, and it's amazing and all of that. You know, this morning there was I saw a video online of a D.C. Capitol lobbyist in the healthcare industry talking about why the Democrats are, claiming it's about healthcare and all of this. Apparently, while this shutdown is happening, the insurance companies like United Healthcare, Aetna, Molina, Kaiser, and whatnot are getting paid and making billions of dollars. Listen.
Because I've been scratching my head, like, why would the Democrats be shutting down the government, depriving federal workers in the military of basically pay and food, and then depriving the military of their health care through TRICARE? I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. Why would you be so
evil?
Hell-bent on this, and I don't think it has anything to do with the talking points that, it's the far-left radicals. No, it has nothing to do with that. That they're against Trump. No, it has nothing to do with that.
What is it?
It has to do with the insurance companies. So I found out these people, even though the government shut down, because of the ACA, their payments every month are coming directly from the Treasury to their bank accounts.
Really?
So the insurance companies, United Healthcare, Aetna, Molina, Kaiser, they are getting paid right now, mandatory pay every single month, while the federal workers and the military get nothing. And so now it's finally making sense.
So their buddies in big healthcare getting paid.
This has nothing to do with healthcare. It has to do with dark money from the billion-dollar insurance companies. Because keep in mind, if they lose the ACA credits for next year, they're not going to get any of that money. They won't get any of that money. So even though the tax credits are tax credits, what actually happens is these tax credits get paid on behalf of you, the insured, and they go directly to the insurance companies.
That's weird.
So that's why the Democrats are fighting so hard on this.
Wow, that's amazing. And wait till you hear on the other side of the break how badly Obamacare has completely bleeped up healthcare. I mean, our healthcare costs are stupid. They promise the sun, the moon, and stars. Everything's going to cheap. Everything's going to be glorious and all of that. We are getting screwed with healthcare. I know this because I had to get the healthcare without the family because, I'm no longer a part of the family plan because I'm no longer part of the family. Anyway, I'm going to share all of that. Your calls are welcome here, 800-922-6680. This, my friends, is a Friday edition of The Rob Carson Show.
The town of Portland, I said in the guard, Antifa, they are gonna get you hard. The Democrat mayor's getting in my way. Go ahead, punks, and make my day. F around and find out. F around and find out. Schumer's gonna find out. I mean business and I'll get my way. Pencil neck and Chris Ray, for your crimes you will pay. You have both been found out. Hope you get a lengthy prison stay. Listen up, Hamas, I am warning you. Break the ceasefire and you'll be through. Democrats, hang your head in shame. For the shutdown, you're gonna get the blame. F around and find out. Mess around and find out. F around and find out. In the end, I'm gonna win the day. Find out.
Mamdani, a socialist. Mamdani, a communist. He's a fan of Hamas. His win will be New York's loss. He's an extremist, you bet, as New York's gonna get taxed like never before. When Mamdani is done, the city will run every grocery store. He'll defund the police and crime will increase as the murder rate begins to soar. Mamdani, anti-Jew, he despises Netanyahu. It is really a sin. New Yorkers voted him in. They'll regret that they helped him win. Of street protesters we've had our fill, but Randy Fine has a bill, says move them on over, run them all over, run over protesters blocking all our roads. The Thump Thump bill is what it's called. I'm sure the left will be appalled, but move them on over, run them all over. Step on the gas if they won't step aside. Sure, it might leave a dent, but make them a hood ornament. Run them all over, thump them all over. If they block our streets, they'll get what they deserve.
You know what we do with collaborators,
right?
And my fantasy dream is that this nightmare ends in 2029, and I think we ought to have radical thing. I think they all ought to have their heads shaven. They should be put in orange pajamas, and it should be marched down Pennsylvania Avenue, and the public should be invited to spit on them.
This is how insane the Democrat Party is, and James Carville is a washed-up zombie from hell. He's always been wrong about everything. He's been wrong about everything. I remember writing for Limbaugh, back in the day when Bill Clinton was the president. He's wrong about everything, and he's gone completely off the deep end. Don't trick-or-treat at his house. It's going to get weird, honestly. How dare you say that Trump supporters should be marched down the street? What should have happened is in the summer of 2020, the people who supported Democrats should have been marched through Minneapolis after it was burned and sacked, like they did, at the camps near towns in Germany. That's what should have happened. You moron. Honestly, so wrong about everything, always. You're just a laughingstock. The best thing you ever did was the brief cameo in the movie Old School, which is a great Gen X comedy starring Will Ferrell and others. Fantastic movie. I've seen it a dozen times minimum. But honestly, other than that, you are completely wrong about everything. So, we're talking about health care premiums and all of this, and this is near and dear to me because I am shopping for my own health care. And so I'm doing this Christian healthcare company, and this isn't an endorsement. I'm just choosing them, and I'm being blown away. It's a health sharing company, and it's like, wow, super service, holy hell. But anyway, so an American doctor is being featured on the interweb talking about what Obamacare did to premiums. Remember Obamacare? You Gen Zers don't because you were still in elementary school. But I remember the night it was passed. I was going to an event in Washington, D.C. where I met my then wife, and I sat and listened to the passage of the bill against the will of the American people, and Nancy Pelosi going, we gotta pass it before we can find what's in it. Now give me some children to fatten up so I can eat them in my gingerbread house. She didn't actually say that, but that's probably what she would do. Anyway, here is this doctor talking about what Obamacare did. All the promises, it was going to be, it was going to be awesome. You know, the only people it benefited was the people in big healthcare and big pharma because they got friggin' filthy rich.
Obamacare has now been around for 15 years, and the promise was that it was going to save us dramatically on our healthcare spending and make us healthier. And if you look at 2010, for a family of 4, their premiums were about $13,000.
Yeah.
They had about $3,000 to $4,000 in deductibles. Now you go to 2025, that has jumped to $35,000.
What? So it used to be $13,000 a year for a family of 4. Now it's $35,000.
About a $5,000 to $6,000 deductible. What's happening now?
Yeah, with a $5,000 to $6,000 deductible.
Is we have what's called functionally uninsured patients. That means they have insurance, they think that they're okay, then they get sick, they go to the ER, they present their magic insurance card, and they find out they have a $5,000 deductible. So that means they have to pay $5,000 before the first dollar of coverage.
I know.
Now the ER for sure is going to eat up that $5,000 deductible.
Yeah.
What that means is patients now have ongoing medical debt. So has Obamacare saved us money? No, unfortunately not. What it has done is made the system very, very complex. You've had the growth of very small to moderate sized insurance companies to huge insurance companies. There's now 7 insurance companies that are in the Fortune 500 right now.
Yeah. Look what it did. Look what it did. I was looking at insurance for myself, and I'm a healthy man. You know, I don't drink, I don't smoke. I don't have any fun at all. I don't. I go home every night and I watch television, and I do show prep. That's my life. That's how okay, enough of that. and minimum $850 to $1,000 a month, $7,000 deductible. Oh my God. That's $12,000 a year, family for with $48,000. Yeah, $7,000 deductible. You might as well, it's kind of like having liability insurance on your car. Might as well just do emergency stuff, like big stuff, like if you get cancer, heart, you need heart surgery or whatever. Because it's like liability. Just get liability. Honest insurance company. Let's just do liability. Because I'm going to get screwed. Everything else is going to cost, I'm going to have to spend $7,000 before anything kicks in. So how about we just do liability insurance? What a joke. What a joke. What a giant lie. What a giant scam. And this is Chuck Schumer, literally 11 years ago, saying that passing Obamacare was a mistake.
Democrats should have continued to propose middle-class-oriented programs.
But you see, Democrats, everything they touch turns to crap.
And built on the partial success of the stimulus. But unfortunately, Democrats blew the opportunity the American people gave them. We took their mandate and put all of our focus...
It was never a mandate.
...on the wrong problem.
Barack Obama never had a mandate.
Healthcare reform.
Well, after college...
Now, the plight of uninsured Americans and the hardships caused by unfair insurance company practices certainly needed to be addressed.
You made the insurance companies rich. You're still doing it right now during the shutdown.
But it wasn't the change we were hired to make. Americans were crying out for the end to the recession, for better wages. And
I can't hear him anymore. My God, I cannot listen to the gargoyle with osteoporosis, who is Chuck Schumer. I can't listen to it. Dear God in heaven. Are you kidding me? But there you go. There you go. This is what I've been talking about. This is why November 5th was a Berlin Wall moment. Because everything that the people in power in this country for the last 50 years, they've never fixed a damned thing. They've never fixed a damn thing. They looted the treasury. They made themselves richer while we suffered. And now they're making people suffer by not giving them their wages during a shutdown, for God's sake. This is why Donald Trump is here. This is why that Berlin Wall is coming down. This is why the Democrat Party is doing a death spiral into hell. And they're going to lose on every single front. They are. And I am here to help them lose by using mockery, ridicule, facts, and comedy to take them down. How does that sound? I think it sounds pretty good. Tony Kinnett, Daily Signal, joins us next. Always great on a Friday. Don't go anywhere. Hey guys, it's Carson for Get Fresh Olive Oil. I eat olive oil every day. I got rid of seed oils years ago. Life is too short to not have wonderful fresh olive oil, and I mean fresh. Olive oil packs the most flavor and healthy ingredients when it's fresh from the farm. And that's the problem with supermarket olive oils. They're not fresh. They can sit on the shelf for months growing stale. That's why I get my olive oil from small, award-winning farms, thanks to a fellow named T.J. Robinson, also known as the Olive Oil Hunter. When I tasted TJ Farms' fresh olive oils, I fell in love with their vibrant, grassy flavors. They're incredibly delicious on salad, veggies, pasta, meat, fish, you name it. And as an introduction to his Fresh Pressed Olive Oil Club, TJ is willing to send you a full-size $39 bottle of one of the world's finest artisanal olive oils, fresh from the new harvest, for just $1 to help him cover shipping. There's no commitment to buy anything now or later. Get your free $39 bottle for just $1 and taste the difference freshness makes. Go to GetFreshRobCarson.com. That's GetFreshRobCarson.com for a free bottle and pay just $1 shipping. GetFreshRobCarson.com.
The Democrats shut down and them all leaving town will be a gift to me. I see it as a firing opportunity. Let the layoffs begin. America will win. Just you wait and see. The Democrats just gave me an opportunity. Now I have a chance, along with J.D. Vance, to make us more waste-free. A federal budget cutting opportunity. The budget I'll reduce when thousands are cut loose. Less bureaucracy. I will make this another opportunity. This is a big time opportunity.
3,500 arrests ICE has made so far. How many have a criminal record versus those who are just in the country illegally?
All of them, because they illegally broke our nation's laws and therefore they are criminals.
She's no KJP. More like Kaylee and Sarah. Her first press briefing was strong. She deals in facts, not liberal propaganda. We have been lied to for so long. And raise your hand. Be polite, or she won't call on you. Meet Caroline, kicking butt and taking names. She's not inclined to let reporters play their games. Sweet Caroline.
So the White House has explained that the reason you didn't submit construction plans to the NCPC is because that commission, along with others, don't have oversight over demolitions, but only over construction. And so far, you haven't built anything. So can you help us understand, can the president tear down anything he wants without oversight? Can he demolish this building or, say, the Jefferson Memorial?
So it's not the president who came up with that legal opinion himself. That's a legal opinion that's been held by the NCPC for many years. It's written, so we can get you that background and that research if you wish to include it in your reporting, because it is very important. They have ruled consistently. Their general counsel has said when it comes to phase one of this project, the tearing down of the current East Wing structure, a submission is not required legally for that.
Yeah, there you go. So get used to it. You know, this coming from the same people who didn't give a rat's behind when they tried to burn down St. John's Church, and when they took down countless statues of Confederates and others, and wanted to actually burn down and take down places like the Jefferson Memorial and all of that. Honestly, I am so done with the left, with these morons, and they just look more absurd every single day. By the way, they did when they were tearing down the building, apparently, and this may be because of Joe Biden living there, one of the walls of the building they took down completely made of cocaine, just 100% just bricks of cocaine, and there were some initials on it, but I won't get into it. Joining us now on the Newsmax Hotline is a columnist, a writer, a contributor to the Daily Signal, also does a wonderful show, WCBM, in the middle of the country in Indianapolis, Indiana. He is Tony Kinnett, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, Tony Kinnett. Let's hear it for him right here. Come on, people. No, okay, nobody else is here.
What is up, Trouble? How are you doing this fine Friday?
Brother, I could not be better. I am loving this this Democrat Party spiral into hell. It's just fun to watch. They are so lunatic fringe, so beyond belief and reason, and unfortunately they're hurting a lot of people with the shutdown, but they're not fooling anybody either.
No, so there was this video that came out this week. There was this kid who was interviewed after a Jets game, and he was really depressed and upset. And he said, I'm a lifelong fan. He said, because I was born into it, but I hate this team. And he's just so depressed. And again, because he's a Jets fan. Yes. And I saw Nate Silver,
yes,
formerly of 538, the Democrat polling whiz,
yes,
saying the same stuff on X, on social media, because he says, look, there's no reason everyone should be focusing on this ballroom right now, yet they're attracted to it like Hunter Biden to cocaine.
Yes.
There's so much to hit Trump on, they think.
I know.
But they're focusing on the ballroom.
And, this is a guy who, by the way, if they were going to do a ballroom, is one of the people you'd want bidding on the contract because he's done such a beautiful job with everything. I went to Mar-a-Lago a few years ago. The ballroom there is pretty friggin' amazing. And the Democrat Party... We got the guy living in the damn White House. He's found corporate sponsors who want their name to be a part of it because they've enjoyed the freedom of America to make the money that they've made, and they're going to pay for it. And what they don't pay for, he's going to contribute the money. Plus, he's one of the greatest real estate developers in the world. I mean, it's so stupid at this point. It's just stupid.
Look, I can understand all the other policy arguments. If you're on the left, okay, you believe that, whatever. But this is one of those few things that, based on the designs, based on what we've seen, it fits the theme of the White House. Yes. It actually fits the construction. It makes sense. And again, it's something that Mike Johnson said, if the Democrats ever take back control of the White House, they'll get to use it. It's in the style exactly. If any other president on earth did this, it would have been fine.
Yes.
But because it's Trump, they immediately react as though they're a witch being boiled in oil. They hiss, they sputter. It's like in the Kevin Costner Robin Hood when the witch sees a cross. She just lights on fire.
Yes, I've been saying that. It's like holy water on a vampire. That's the Democrat Party. You just splash some reason on them and some common sense. They do like Nancy Pelosi did on the Capitol steps a week ago. Just started to melt, just melting. It's just so stupid. It's just so stupid. And they think that they they're so desperate for something to give them momentum. They did it with Doge, and they burnt Tesla dealerships because Elon Musk was a Nazi, and then they went on Signalgate. That was it. Oh my God, Signalgate. Oh my God, Signalgate. And then in the No Kings protest, even though Donald Trump has done nothing, as far as being a monarch is concerned, and all the great things, and during planning for this stupid rally, he has got peace of the Middle East, and all of this, and now he's tearing down a part of the White House, and it's just this is what you got. This is this week. This is what you got. Okay, all right.
It's not even as though he's building statues, or even we talking about the Hall of Presidents where we had the pictures on the side of the White House. There is nothing at all that is personal or political about this whatsoever. Oh. That's what's kind of astounding to me. They can't even say, oh, this is just what Nazis would do, because you will remember in The Sound of Music, yes, it was the Austrians pre-Nazi who actually wanted the ballrooms and the dancing and the regalia of folklore and of people in the country. And so the desperation here just to be mad for the sake of being mad, it's like being in a bad marriage.
Well, let's not go there.
Well,
that cuts deep, man. What the hell? Where did that come from?
Little Bill and Hillary for you there.
Well, you know what? I haven't been in the ballroom in a while. Let's tell you that. Let's move on to some other stuff here. The left and Democrats now are saying they want they want ICE agents tracked and arrested. They like Lori Lightfoot, dear God, Beetlejuice. She says she wants ICE tracked and arrested. Good luck, local law enforcement, going up to federal agents and saying, yeah, you're under arrest. What do you think's going to happen?
We actually have precedent for this. There was this really cool place in the Carolinas called Fort Sumter. Yes. And the state authorities said, all right, you Republicans, you get your federal forces out of here. We want people breaking the law to break the law around these parts.
Yes.
And the federal government said no.
Yes.
And so if J.B. Pritzker and his Golden Corral buffet of his special commission of mobsters, they think is going to go after ICE agents and arrest them, or Gavin Newsom's crew out in San Fran and San Diego and L.A., or over in New York with Letitia James, you are giving the Trump administration. This is usually one of those things that ends up having a CNN commentator or even an MSNBC legal analyst say, guys, I think that there's really a lot of legal standing that Trump administration is just right here. And then there's awkward silence on air for 15 minutes.
Well, they have been waging a de facto civil war with plausible deniability for about 10 years in this country. They have soldiers. They are Antifa. Yes, they do exist because the logo and all the funding and the fact it's a worldwide movement, and they have uniforms. I mean, other than that, they don't exist. And then they've got, of course, the language, the words of war they've been using. They've actually been showing up on shell casings, used with bullets to kill Charlie Kirk and Catholic kids in Minneapolis. And so they've got plausible deniability. So they can, even though their words show up, they can say, we don't have nothing to do with it. We don't have nothing to do with it. And now these are all the acts of an insurrectionist party, and they want a war. They're just this shy of it. And I got to tell you, it's not going to end well for Democrats, because I believe the last Civil War, they got their asses kicked. Maybe I could be wrong. Listen, we got to take a break, Tony. I got much more I want to get to, including who Barry Weiss wants as the head anchor for the CBS Evening News. I don't know if you heard about that. It's pretty crazy. So that is coming up, and this is the Rob Carson Show.
not disclose the identity of a federal agent, where they live, anything that could harm them. Pritzker, same ballgame with him. And, you know, Pelosi got a letter today from Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche. So did Brooke Jenkins, that DA in San Francisco. We told them, preserve your emails, preserve everything you have on this topic, because if you are telling people to arrest our ICE officers, our federal agents, you cannot do that. You're impeding an investigation, and we will charge them if they think they have not met me, because we will charge them if they are violating the law.
Yeah, absolutely. That's Pam Bondi, who's just kicking ass, taking names, and of course Kash Patel yesterday, and just an amazing. I guess the DOJ wing of the Super Friends yesterday was pretty remarkable to watch. The country is becoming a much safer place, a much better place, and the Democrat Party is spinning, doing that spiral into hell. Tony Kinnett, Daily Signal, WIBC in lovely Indianapolis, by the way, and where the leaves are changing on the one tree in Indiana. It's kind of cool. Actually, I lived in Kansas. Kansas was much worse.
I was actually walking under that lovely fall tree that we share in Indiana this time of year. Thanks for that, Rob.
No, I lived in Kansas, okay? Once you get about halfway across Kansas, you're living in Mars. You're living on Mars. It's red and dirt and sand, and there's nothing out there. Anyway, so that's one of the stories. Did you get a chance to watch any of that yesterday? It was really cool to see all of the truckloads of cocaine and the millions of doses of fentanyl. And why didn't the Democrat Party do a damned thing about it, Tony?
It's really marvelous to watch, to be honest with you, because all of these individuals that you played on the audio clip coming into the segment, you have these Democrats who think that if they still think the gravy train of ignoring inciting an illegal activity is still fine and it's okay and they can get away with it. What they do not realize, and they will realize this eventually when the actual convictions start coming down, but right now they still think, Pritzker gets out there, I'm untouchable, I'm a billionaire, my dad was a hotel manager, I can do whatever I want, give me another donut. Yes. You have Nancy Pelosi sucking on her dentures, well, I'm Speaker Emerita. And what you're going to find is that you're going to have to install a couple of handicap accessible rails inside their prison cells because they can't help themselves. Don't commit crimes. Letitia James now pleading not guilty a few minutes ago on her bank fraud and wire fraud cases. Best of luck to you, sweetheart. That's not going to make the case go away. They played that game and they lost.
Did you see her yesterday when she came out of her apartment? She has an apartment with the front door.
Look at her.
With the front door, it's under the stairs. She came out from under the stairs like a rat.
I was thinking like a really dejected Harry Potter, but I'll allow it. It's very strange.
I know. She comes out of her apartment under the stairs. I'm like, what a view. I mean, what a fantastic view. I guess that's what living in New York. You know why Donald Trump is building a ballroom?
Oh, do tell.
Because he has them. Listen to this.
Mr. President, if you are declaring war against these cartels and Congress is likely to approve of that process, why not just ask for a declaration of war?
Well, I don't think we're going to necessarily ask for a declaration of war. I think we're just going to kill people that are bringing drugs into our country. Okay? We're going to kill them. Yeah. They're going to be like dead. Okay?
Yeah. They need a ballroom because he's the first president to have them in a very long time, Tony. That's what he had to say. I love that. Don't you love that?
I do. I love that it's not just the Democrats, but also the libertarians who are going, oh, no, you can't just kill them without due process. If someone breaks into your house, do you say, hold on, I need to file a restraining order? There's a very legal process that needs to be going about this. Hang on, I don't know if you have ill intent or not. You haven't actually taken any of my possessions. No. If someone breaks into your house, you defend your home. If someone is sending narco boats to the United States, you shoot them in the water because you know what happens? Boom, boom. The next guy goes, I don't want to get in this boat because the water, it gets explosive if I carry the drugs. It's amazing. People kind of learn. After the first kid in the class gets the paddle, the other kids suddenly are like, man, I don't think I'm going to get in any fights today, Jim. I want to be able to sit down.
Well, and also these are soldiers for hire, essentially, from Venezuela and other countries that are funding this and benefiting from it. So it's a freaking war. It's a war, all right? It's not a bunch of guys on a boat making money off cocaine like Miami Vice in the 1980s. This is a war against us, and so you blow the snot out of them. And I got to tell you, Rand Paul, dear God, man, just get a life and get on board or shut up. Go ahead.
I'm going to say sort of to the war situation, and here's why. They're not a state government. They're not. If there was an actual government, the reason Congress votes on declaring a war is so that we go to that country's ambassador, we take their passport from them and say, you have 24 hours to get out of the country. That's what that's for. There is no ambassador of the Tren de Aragua narco-terrorist group.
But Venezuela and Maduro are absolutely intertwined with them.
Well, they are, but because Venezuela's not admitting that, we don't need Congress to declare war.
Boom.
Now, if Maduro says, these are my guys and I'm declaring war, yes, then Congress is needed. Until then, Trump is more than welcome to promote all of those votes to submarines.
All right, we got like 60 seconds here. Barry Weiss is talking about she wants to get Brett Baer on CBS Evening News. I'm not a big fan of Baer since the 2020 election, but that's an earthquake.
Yeah, I mean, that's a major step up. I just want to be in there. Can she hire me to sit in the room and just watch the tears? That's what I'd like to do.
Dude, I got to tell you, I think that CNN is getting ready to be sold, and they are going to get back to their news roots, or else that's it. There's going to be major changes there, and Barry Weiss is going to usher in new changes at CBS, particularly after the 60 Minutes lawsuit settlement and all the crap. It is These are remarkable times we live in, brother. I'm glad I could witness it with you. And your best voice today, by the way, was Nancy Pelosi. I thought that was the best with her dentures. That was the best thing today. It was.
I actually did suck on my teeth a bit for that one for you.
It was fantastic. All right, Tony Kinnett, where can people find all your glorious work, man?
You should go to youtube.com/Daily Signal or Rumble's equivalent, because tonight's show is going to be stellar. 7 p.m. See you there.
All right, brother. Talk to you soon. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. All righty. Let's see who's online today. Yeah, I think that Chris Ruddy should buy Newsmax or CNN. It would be nice, or MSNBC. To be quite honest, I have a feeling that CNN's going to be cheaper. I don't know. I don't even know. Who's watching? Proud to be a Jew. Good to see you. She-Brat. Hello. Haven't seen you in a while. You drink it. Haven't seen you in a while on the Rumbly Room. But it's good to see Janine Page. What's up, Round a Pony? Dookie Bear. Over on YouTube. A lot of new viewers over there. Mickey Hastings. Lucinda Bramer. Hello, Lucinda Bramer. What's going on? Dance F. I saw you yesterday. I think Mickey Hastings, as I mentioned earlier. Deplorable Dinosaur. Kimberly Vierholt. What are you doing? Kimberly Vierholt. Raphael Madrigal. Hello, Raphael Madrigal. You're new here. Glad to have you here, as is James LaPlante. Thanks for watching today. I appreciate you. Jorge Monterrey. Look at all the new names over there. My God, it's crazy. Robert Lawson is watching on Facebook, as is John Truitt and Kathy. Hello, Kathy. Kathy, thanks for watching me today. I appreciate you guys so much. Watch my TV show, Rob Carson's What in the World, this weekend, will you? Sunday night after Michael Savage. It's like having, probably not the best lead-in for a comedy show, but Dr. Michael Savage is amazing. I think the people who watch Savage, you get a little whiplash when they see my show coming up next. But it is Sunday night at 8:30 on Newsmax. Should be Saturday night. We're working on that. We'll see. Let's come back and talk about something. Let's do this. I'm going to leave the Prezi up there. Here we go.
Give me 3 minutes here, Rob.
Okay.
Adam Schiff is one of the lowest forms of scum I've ever dealt with in politics. He's a horrible human being, very dishonest person. I have no idea what's going on. You tell me that he's going to be indicted. I don't know.
Would be nice,
you could ask Pam. I don't know if she could say it. Probably you are allowed to say it. But I wouldn't know about that. I can only tell you he's a very bad.
Yeah, he's a
I think
scumbag.
he's actually a sick person.
He is a scumbag. Absolutely a scumbag. You know, we haven't had any Halloween songs yet. Until now, by Jim Gossett about Adam Schiff. On the
Pencil
Rob
Nick,
Carson Show.
I bet he's shaking in his boots.
Come on.
About that investigation. He and the New York Times, they were in cahoots. Printing Schiff's leaked information. Russia lies and fraudulent loans. They're crimes Adam Schiff committed. It is time that he's put on trial. And for prison stripes be fitted.
Come on, let's go.
Ow. Where's Schiff's indictment? Ow. He's a pencil neck gent. Went after our president.
Yeah, you did.
No guilt for the lies he's telling. Adam Schiff's a crook. At him throw the book. I tell you he's a felon.
Come on, everybody.
Where's Schiff's indictment? Where's Schiff's indictment?
That is so fun. You know, you're not going to have any more fun than this on the listening to conservative talk radio, man. Because I got nothing but derision for the left, and I'm just here to make fun of them with facts and satire and all of that. Jim Gossett is one of the soldiers in this army here. If you want to help him out, go to patreon.com, Jim Gossett Comedy. Give him $10 a month, and he's going to send you 2 parodies a day. He did another one. It's coming up, the Mamdani family to the Addams family. I mean, it's incredible. So we got that coming up. Also, Mary Walter is coming up. On the other side of the break, we're going to get into this NBA gambling scandal. Unbelievable. We're going to get into Donald Trump. He's going to go on land to go after Venezuelan drug cartels. Oh, the number of students identifying as non-binary drops in half because it was all a psyop to take advantage of children after they destroyed their lives during COVID, which is exactly what I said when they were destroying their lives from COVID. Ridiculous. It's a Friday, kids. Hour number 2 of the Rob Carson Show is right ahead. If I were you, I wouldn't go anywhere.
No blind rhetoric.
No talking down to me.
Don't tell me how to think.
Don't tell me how to think. Don't tell me how to think.
I trust Newsmax. Newsmax.
They don't tell me how to think. They let me decide.
Real news for real people.
it now.
You are about to hear the most interesting, informative, provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
And by the grace of God, it is finally Friday. We are also the number one conservative talk radio program for, entertainment and comedy. How about making fun of, using humor as a weapon against the absurdity of the left, and the reason why conservative comedy is on the ascension is because the left can't be taken seriously anymore. You can't be serious if you think that ICE agents going in and finding illegal criminal aliens in America's inner cities, and you think that they should be exposed and they should be arrested, and you think it's a bad thing. You cannot be taken seriously if you think a boy can become a girl and compete against girls. You can't be taken seriously. I have no interest in debating you on this nonsense because it's so nonsensical. So there is that. But anyway, welcome to hour number 2 of the show. Mary Walter at the bottom of the hour. Always fun. I want to play this because this is Stephen Miller yesterday. And Stephen Miller was at this round table with some of the members of Trump's Justice Department. I don't know if you do this in the city of Memphis. After 2 weeks, violent crime has dropped 50%. Violent crime has dropped 50% in Memphis. You wouldn't believe Washington, D.C. Compared to what it was when Joe Biden was the president. It's immaculate. It's beautiful. The Union Station, Janine Pirro and Sean Duffy did a video there. I'm going to share a bit of it, the audio of it, of course. But you won't believe the statistics in Washington, D.C. And J.B. Pritzker, Blitzkrieg in Chicago, the reason why he's fighting this is, A, he wants to become president. He never will because he's not likable enough. He doesn't have a record of accomplishment at all, and he doesn't have enough money to pay for it. So he will never be the president. Gavin Newsom will not be the president because he's as fake as the veneers on his teeth. But the reason why they're fighting is because if the Democrat Party loses the inner city, then they lose the states. New York is an agrarian state, but it's dominated by New York City and the left in New York City. Same goes for New Jersey. Same goes for Delaware. Same goes for... Listen, I've been in Sussex County, Delaware. Oh, my God, the people in Sussex County are so kick butt. Conservative county in Delaware, it's like heaven on earth. It's like Iowa meets the beach. Oh, my God, I love it there. I'm going to get a little tiny home up there. I'm going to. It's going to be so cool. Anyway. But you just... you wouldn't believe what's happening in cities like Washington, D.C. I want you to listen to Stephen Miller, who, by the way, now the left is attacking, calling him a Nazi. He's a Jew. He's a Jewish guy. And the left, their despicable mob, their horde of flying monkeys commanded by, Nancy Pelosi and others. Calling him a Nazi is like, you sons of bees. You filthy, rotten sons of bees. Anyway, here he is yesterday. Listen to what he had to say.
Let me just say, Mr. President, that this country was going to die without you. This country was going to actually die without you.
It was.
That's what we were facing in 2024. We've been invaded for 4 years. Our communities were sinking. Our public safety had gone to zero. Cartels were running entire communities. Sex trafficking, child trafficking, labor trafficking was out of control. Overdoses were out of control. The cartels were claiming more and more territory. City services were buckling. This was a country on the verge of dying. And you alone saved it. And when you stepped forward originally in 2016, you started the movement to make America great again. And that means make America great again in every way. And that means safety and prosperity and peace and freedom from cartels and crime and gangs.
Yeah.
And your vision and your leadership in declaring war on the drug cartels is the single most successful public safety initiative in American history.
It is.
And I need the media to understand what President Trump has done. People have been talking about drug cartels for longer than I've been alive. And everyone has just taken for granted that they can't be touched or stopped. They're too big, they're too powerful, they're too evil, they're too murderous. They can operate with impunity. And in just 9 months, President Trump is the only American leader, not just in our lifetimes, but ever, to actually take the fight to the drug cartels, to actually seek their eradication. And it is happening. And so while the Democrats are shutting the government down and fighting for free health care for illegal aliens, look at what President Trump has assembled here. He's assembled a team under his vision, direction, and leadership that is saving hundreds of thousands of lives.
It is.
Hundreds of thousands of lives. And only President Trump could have done this. And I will say one last thing, which is that his courage has been an inspiration to everyone else in this room. There are people in this room, looking at, for example, at Todd Lyons, who have been relentlessly doxxed and harassed and threatened. But when they see President Trump's courage, what he's been through for 10 years to save America, when they came after his family, his businesses, his safety, his freedom, everyone at this table knows we can give whatever it takes to get the mission done. So President Trump, thank you for your leadership, your boldness, your courage, and your vision. We're honored to serve underneath you.
Yep, and as the Democrat Party does its death spiral to hell, just go to hell. Honestly, just go to hell, all of you. CNN's Abby Phillips says nothing as a vile left-wing podcaster calls Stephen Miller a Nazi Jew. This is on a podcast. A couple of Karens host this podcast. What are their names? Awful, awful women. I mean, awful, crazy cat lady. Her name is Welch, like Welch. What is her? Okay. Abby Phillips. Anyway, Abby Phillips from CNN was on there, and this awful woman calls Stephen Miller a Nazi, and Abby Phillips, who's supposed to be a journalist in good standing, well, she works at CNN, so that's not possible. But just listen.
Stephen Miller is a white supremacist. I mean, he is, and he's basically...
No, he's not, and I hope he sues your ever-loving rear end off.
...running the White House. They keep Trump busy with his...
Jennifer Welch is her name. Jennifer Welch.
...decorating projects. He's got building the arch now. He's got his Oval Office design. And then you have these real sociopaths.
Karens are ruining everything for women in general. Powerful conservative women are wonderful and amazing. These liberal Karens are ruining it for a lot of people. Fortunately, it's not affecting powerful, conservative, and awesome women who are generally hot compared to the awful, terrible, dour, sour, liberal Karens.
That are real anti-Semites, true white supremacists like Stephen Miller. And even though he's Jewish, he's like a Nazi Jew.
Well, look, I can't speak to what...
Why, Abby Normal? Yeah, Abby Abnormal. Why would you not challenge this when she calls a Jewish man, a Nazi
and
Jew?
Even though he's Jewish, he's like a Nazi Jew.
Well, look, I can't speak to what Stephen Miller's motivations are. I
got to tell you, I hope Stephen Miller sues their butts off, big time. You cannot use language like that. You cannot say that. That is not protected speech. It has to be. It is slanderous in the most profound fashion, even if he is a public figure. Absolutely, utterly sickening and ridiculous. Judge Jeanine, who I have a major crush on, by the way. She's an older woman, but dang, she's so awesome. I love her. And I can say that because I'm a man. I'm an alpha male. It's okay. It's all right. I can say that a woman is attractive. I know that the left, they didn't want that because no, really hot women are leftists in good standing. Rosie O'Donnell? Rachel Madcow? Really? No. We got, Judge Jeanine. We got Pam Bondi. Come on now. Christy Nome, dear Lord. I can say it. Come on, they're hot. Okay, it's okay. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Anyway, here is Judge Jeanine with Sean Duffy in Union Station, which is now cleaner than Disney World. I swear to God, you could eat off the floors in Union Station. Listen.
Just like the president said.
Union Station is a dream. It's a beautiful place.
This is a beautiful place. It smells like winning.
Yeah, it does. You should go. It's pretty cool.
Judge, Union Station is under our watch, and it's cleaner than ever.
Yeah.
And under our watch, we've cleaned up crime in Washington, D.C.
Really? What are the stats on that?
Homicides are down 68%.
What?
Awesome.
Carjackings are down 70%.
That is so awesome.
We did it. Woo.
Wow.
Judge, I can read the paper without being bothered.
Yeah, you can read the paper in Union Station without having some guy smelling like urine and weed coming up to you.
That's because we've cleared 50 homeless encampments in Washington, D.C.
Amazing.
Yeah, you know what? And none of it had to be like this. It's just the Democrat Party wants it to be like this. They do. They wanted D.C. to be a hellhole. They wanted to keep people in inner cities uneducated in poor schools, impoverished, dependent, and aggrieved. That's what they're doing. That's why J.D. Pritzker is behaving in the fashion that he is, which is bat guano crazy. Absolutely bat guano crazy. And one of the things they're doing in places like Chicago is they're doxing ICE agents. Here's Lori Lightfoot, Beetlejuice. Is she here? No, she is not. Here she is.
We start the process of unmasking the agents. Even though they're wearing masks, every single one of them has a towel.
You say unmasking, they're going to say you're going to dox them, and that's why threats against them are up.
They are on public property, out in the open. We have an absolute right under our Constitution to be able to document what's happening. Every single one of those agents, height, weight, hair color.
Wow.
They wear their vests in a particular way. They're wearing insignias. Even the masks that they wear, the shoes that they wear, the cars that they're driving.
Oh, you are messing with fire, girlfriend. Pam Bondi has already said, keep your emails, keep your records, because you're going to get it. What you're doing right now is illegal. Oh, I hope they go. Here is, let's see, Dan Goldman. No, that's not Dan Goldman. Hold on, let me find Dan Goldman. Here's Dan Goldman. Dan Goldman, he's just a buffoon. Oh, crud, I don't have it anymore. Never mind. I won't play that soundbite, but I will play this soundbite. This is J.B. Pritzker. Yesterday, he did an interview with Fox News with Brett Beer, and he lied about crime being terrible in Chicago because everybody knows that crime is terrible in Chicago. And Brett Beer actually called him out, unlike telling the truth about elections and stuff.
Does Chicago have the highest murder rate of all the big cities?
Well, we are not in the top 30 in terms of our murder rate. Indeed, our murder rate it has been cut in half over the last 4 years, and every year it's gone down by double digits. And if you look at all of the violent crime over the last 4 years,
here's a map.
They've all gone down.
U.S. cities, 17.47 per 100,000 population. Chicago is number one over Philadelphia, Houston, Dallas, San Antonio, Phoenix, Los Angeles, New York, and San Diego.
What I'm explaining to you is when you want to fight crime. Look, you can pull statistics up.
No, these are murders.
I'm explaining to you that our murder rate has been cut in half. And very important.
You caused the murder rate to go up and carjackings and all the other things to go up dramatically in the summer of 2020 when you defunded the police. You did. And now that it's coming down a little bit, you're claiming credit for bringing down crime. You idiots. You know, I mean, honestly, nobody is fooled by you. And by the way, nobody's fooled by you buying suits that are larger than usual to make it look like you've lost weight. Nobody's buying that either. Nobody's buying that either, JB. And everybody knows the reason why you're doing these interviews and the reason why you're fighting Donald Trump, other than, keeping the people in the dark in America's inner cities, is you want to run for president. It's all about you. You're such a selfish, awful human being. My God. Let's take a break and come back. This is The Rob Carson Show. Bye. today from your app store.
Gonna rejoin.
Dig it.
Donald Trump's election. It's the gift that keeps on giving. It's the Rob Carson Show.
Oh, I love to hear crazy cat lady liberals scream. It's so fantastic. Makes me happy. Makes my day. I hope you're enjoying the show thus far. We have much more to go before it all ends today. By the way, my TV show is called Rob Carson's What in the World? And it's on Sunday nights now, following the Michael Savage show on Newsmax. It's on at 8:30. I'm sure for Michael Savage viewers, it's like whiplash to go from Michael Savage to a political comedy show. However, the show is outstanding this weekend. Absolutely outstanding. We got a couple new segments on the show. One's called Carson's Wine Cellar, even though I don't drink, WHINE, Carson's Wine Cellar, among other things. And then another feature, which is What You Missed Last Week. It's a pretty darn good show. So just watch it Sunday nights on Newsmax, will ya? Well, I know it's kind of odd to be not on a Saturday night with comedy, because Fox has comedy on Saturday nights, and NBC has comedy on Saturday nights. It's kind of crazy, right? But we do it on Sunday nights. So there you go. I mentioned Dan Goldman, Congressman, about arresting ICE. Here's what he had to say.
I sent a letter last week to NYPD Commissioner Jessica Tisch to warn her about what is likely coming to New York City, because we've seen it around the country.
Amid increased immigration enforcement by the Trump administration, some local elected officials are asking the NYPD to arrest or even charge federal agents who they say are detaining people illegally.
No, it's not that at all. And the Democrat Party, again, realizes that they are not long for this earth as a movement, or even part of the representative republic that we are, because once the big cities fall and the wall between the Democrat Party and America's inner cities falls, and the light shines through about how badly the Democrat Party has screwed them over, then the states will go Republican. That's what they're terrified of. They're like movie vampires dying. Here's Donald Trump's reaction to Dan Goldman.
What's your reaction to Representative Dan Goldman calling on NYPD to arrest ICE agents who he says are acting illegally? He says they are illegally assaulting people and illegally detaining people at immigration courts in New York.
No, they're not at all.
Well, I know Dan, and Dan's a loser. You understand. He's a guy that doesn't have what it takes. He's been trying so hard.
Yeah.
And they're exhausted. I mean, it's so ridiculous, right? A suggestion like that.
Yeah, it is. And they're desperate. Like I said, they're in their last dying throes, the class of 1968. I've got some audio from Scott Jennings talking about Zohran Mamdani in a moment. And CNN is so sold on promoting the Democrat, even if they are an anti-Semitic and radical Islamics. They're still down with them altogether. They don't even care. They're so just broken, it's not even funny. October is Cybersecurity Awareness Month, a.k.a. Cyber Scaries Month. The scariest thing about October is being vulnerable to cyber criminals. I always get phished for nonsense, not only on my cell phone, but on my computer. But right now, WebRoot Total Protection offers you unbelievable protection from all of this at a fantastic price if you go to webroot.com/Carson. Just do this, okay? webroot.com/Carson, and you see what you're going to get and the money you're going to spend for it, you'll go no way. There's no way it's only this much for an entire year. Okay? Advanced dark web monitoring, real-time antivirus protection against emerging threats like malware, ransomware, phishing, firewall, and network monitor. Web threat shields, detects, and blocks malicious websites before you can visit them. Password manager, among other things. System optimizer to delete traces of online activity. I can go on and on and on. Up to $1 million in expense reimbursement for stolen funds and out-of-pocket costs due to identity theft. Oh, my God! It's a great product. WebRoot Total Protection. Go to webroot.com/Carson for 60% off. What? Yeah, 60% off. webroot.com/Carson. Here is Scott Jennings pointing out the obvious about Zohran Mamdani, who glad-handed a non-indicted co-conspirator of the attacks on the World Trade Center in 1993.
It's true that Mamdani was taking a picture with an unindicted co-conspirator from the World Trade Center bombing the other day and called him a pillar of the community.
This should disqualify him.
Cuomo didn't make him take that picture. Mamdani took that picture and seems to be pretty proud of it. That's a legitimate thing to debate. But I think in this case of the radio show, the core issue was Mamdani literally has no experience. And if you had a 9/11 scale event, would you want somebody who can't prove that they can do anything in the chair? Legit.
Is it fair to say that he would cheer on 9/11?
He's taking pictures with unindicted co-conspirators.
Yeah, that's Abby Phillips, by the way, who also didn't call out a horrific podcaster for calling Stephen Miller a Nazi. So there's that. New from Jim Gossett on the Rob Carson Show.
He's a full-fledged commie, a wealthy dad and mommy. He's worse than a tsunami. Mamdani's a real threat. He's anti-Semitic. It really is pathetic. He's not sympathetic. Mamdani's a real threat. Experience he's lacking. Hamas he's always backing. His party he's hijacking. Mamdani is a threat. Does not know what he's doing, but he looks like a shoo-in. New York will be in ruin if Mamdani wins.
Yo, that is brand new from Jim Gossett. You knew the Halloween stuff was coming, right? Oh, just wait till Christmas. Just wait till Christmas. We have so much fun at Christmas coming up. I know I shouldn't say Christmas, but I got to tell you, Thanksgiving is my number one holiday. Christmas is number two, and I'm going to celebrate the heck out of both of them because I got screwed out of last year. I'm just going to tell you. All right, so as we bump out with the Foo Fighters, crank that up, Brian. Love it, love it, love it. Mary Walter's going to join us next to talk about a number of things, including students identifying as non-binary dropping in half. I thought this wasn't a choice. That's coming up. This is the Rob Carson Show. Don't go anywhere. Hey guys, it's Carson, not proud member of the 4 a.m. club. You know what that is? Well, that's the time that I usually wake up every night and can't get back to sleep. Then I found Beam's Dream Powder. Now, Beam's Dream Powder is made with a powerful blend of all natural ingredients, including reishi, magnesium, L-theanine, apigenin, and melatonin. It's designed to help you fall asleep, stay asleep, and wake up feeling amazing. And unlike other sleep aids, there's no next day grogginess, just great restful sleep. Plus, Dream tastes incredible, and it's become a part of my nightly routine. Simple, easy, effective. Dream is made right here in America, supporting jobs, quality, and the principles we stand for in America. Thank you very much. Beam is going to give my listeners the ultimate Patriot discount, up to 40%. Try their best-selling Dream Powder. Get up to 40% off for a limited time. So with my discount code Newsmax, you can get their best-selling Dream Powder for just $39. Go to shopbeam.com/Newsmax. That's shopbeam.com/Newsmax. Again, use the code Newsmax at checkout. That's beam.com/Newsmax and use code word Newsmax for up to 40% off.
just something about Mary.
Yes, there is. And Mary Walter joins us on the Newsmax Hotline. Thank you very much. Hello, Mary. How are you today?
I'm fine because it's Friday and I get to talk to you. I mean, seriously, can this day get any better?
I don't think so, unless you were actually here and were able to just touch the garment of my sleeve. Then it would be off the hook, obviously.
For me, obviously.
So now, let me. Is the leaves turned where you are, by the way?
Yeah, we don't have any trees on our property, but driving around, I see it happening.
Well, there are other trees other than ones on your property,
Yeah.
Mary. You might want to get out and see them at some point. You know.
I just said, but when I get out, I see them, yes.
All right. So there's a lot of stuff going on today. We just found out, you just told me, Hakeem Jeffries just endorsed Zohran Mamdani, which means that the Democrat Party will take someone who is, anti-Semitic, a radical Islamist, and communist, as long as they can win.
Exactly.
Wow.
They understand power. Wow. They do. I may not like it. I may not like the power in which they are in pursuit of, but they understand it. And they will take everything they can get. They will ask for a mile, but they will take an inch, whereas Republicans would, they'll take nothing. They're just going to go home angry. They're starving, and someone offers them a half a loaf of bread, they walk away because they want the whole loaf.
Well, but they won't sell their souls to a communist anti-Semite who's a radical Islamist. So there's that.
Agree.
Yeah.
Agree.
Yes.
However, because they don't want that, but in order to get things that they do want, a lot of times they will not play the same game.
Unbelievable. You also mentioned the Knicks sent Mamdani a cease and desist. What did he do?
Can I tell everyone, by the way, you texted me literally 5 minutes before we go on the air and go, what do you want to talk about?
Because I want to. Listen, I am well informed on almost everything, okay, except for the Knicks sending Mamdani a cease and desist, which you texted me. So I wanted to hear your take on it.
Well, because I was looking for something, because you gave me 5 minutes and I was in a panic, and so I found it.
Well, you can talk about anything, girlfriend. I don't care, but you thought you were interested in this, and I want to hear about it. Why would they send him? Did he try to, like when he tried to bench press 135, did he try to bounce a basketball, didn't have the strength to, have it bounce back up at him?
By the way, in high school, I was part of the 135 club. We had, when you're a senior, you could take whatever you want. So we could take weightlifting, and they had T-shirts if you could lift a certain amount.
Really?
Yeah, and so I took weightlifting for a semester, and at the end, if you could, for the girls, I think the smallest amount was 135.
Dang!
And I did it. I could bench 135, so I got my T-shirt.
That is a pretty cool deal. That is a pretty good. 135 for a woman is strong. Is strong. So that's amazing.
Well, I was a little bit bigger back then, so I had more.
Are you sure you're not identifying as no?
So here's what happened. So Mamdani put out this ad.
Yeah.
And it says it shows the picture of very, very similar. It's basically the Knicks logo.
Wow.
It says New York, and instead of the Knicks, it says Zohran with a basketball.
Oh, dear
so
Lord.
It's exactly like the Knicks logo.
Wow.
So they have sent him a cease and desist. He put it on Instagram, and the caption says, "This is our year. This is our time. #New York forever."
Wow.
And then he put the location as Madison Square Garden.
Oh, man. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty much kind of using their likeness. That's not good. And clearly, obviously, he's using the Knicks, but also you got to kind of wonder if the Knicks want to be associated with this guy. Did you've been following this NBA scandal with regard to gambling and players leaving the game and throwing games essentially, or at least throwing parts of the games so people can make some money, and then also the poker, and then New York crime families. I didn't know these New York crime families are still around. La Cosa Nostra, my God. Have you followed this at all?
Well, yes, because I'm trying to find out who in the mafia was arrested, because every time there's a mafia roundup, we lose a neighbor. So, hand it got true. The last time they did one, my husband goes in, he was looking at the list, and he goes, he was looking at the list, like one of the guys at the top, he goes, I guess he's not coming for his next appointment. He was one of my husband's patients. Oh, my
God, that's fantastic. Because you live in Jersey. You live in Jersey. Yes. You live in Jersey. Where did Sonny the fish, my neighbor, go? I need to return my lawnmower.
It's so funny, like, you don't hear, like, oh, that's why he had 4 boats.
Oh, my God. That's fantastic. This is really big and ugly.
I can't find the list of the guys who went, though. That's what I'm looking for.
Oh, well, let me give them to you. There's one that he's called himself Quack Quack. He called himself Quack Quack, son of a legendary mafia capo, the newly made man, and mobster who did time for an infamous Queens racial attack were among 13 reputed mobsters busted alongside NBA stars.
Oh, so there's only 13, and that's Queens. Yeah, I gotta look. I'm interested in the Jersey people. So,
well, this is something else, and they were what they do is they would you buy into a poker game with an NBA star. So you're sitting next to an NBA star, and then it turns out they were using like everything from scanners under the tables. They had special glasses.
X-ray tables.
What now?
They had X-ray tables. So when you put your cards face down on the table, they could see the cards.
Well, I was wondering why the tabletop was clear and there was a guy with a camera laying on the floor.
So this whole thing, I have to say, I was reading about this, and I'm looking at all this stuff that they did, like how sophisticated it was. If they put this towards good, like they could come up with something and make billions of dollars. Like, and can I say, if this is true about these NBA guys who were allegedly the face, and then the guys that they stole from were the fish, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, why? Like the one guy makes something like $20 million a year just so he and his buddy could make like a couple of $10,000, like a couple of tens of thousands of dollars. What, are you kidding me? Like, why? Unless it's like the adrenaline rush. Like he's just an adrenaline junkie and he likes to live dangerously. I don't know. There's people like that.
Yeah, hidden cameras, X-ray tables. They had these shuffling machines. These use self-shuffling machines that secretly altered to read the cards in the deck. I wonder if all of this would be able to beat Dustin Hoffman and Rain Man sitting next to you.
Yes, because it's much more subtle. He's rocking back and forth going, Judge Judy, Wapner.
I got to tell you, I didn't even know, but you're seeing, I mean, this is just a classic example, like almost a movie version of the mob being involved with professional, and I got to tell you, I've been approached by these sports gambling book sites, Bet Kings or whatever the hell. I have no interest at all in this nonsense, Mary, by the way.
You have to know what you're doing.
Well, of course.
I believe. Like,
of course.
No, well, you do know, and if you're not into it, it would be good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it's not your jam, then you would be foolish, right? Because you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
If you want, so if you. To me, I even stopped buying lottery tickets because I can't win like $1.
You know what I could do? I could do really well because after 28 years of marriage, I could bet on house hunters which house they're going to choose. I could do that kind of gambling.
That's so easy, whichever one she wants.
Exactly, 100%. All right, Mary, I want you to hold on. We got more with Mary Walter on the other side, including who CBS wants as their main anchor. Barry Weiss wants it anyway. We'll see. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
thank you for your prayers. I want to thank you for your emails. I want to thank you for your support. It has strengthened my spirit.
That is Letitia James, who is in some serious hot water, by the way. And if her bathtub had an inch of hot water in it and she got in, it would be full. It's crazy how that happens. But anyway, she's in a lot of hot water. Obviously, some No Kings protesters left over for the weekend showing up to support her as she faces charges for mortgage fraud. Of course, she has entered a plea of not guilty in a federal mortgage fraud case. And Mary Walter is on the Newsmax Hotline to talk about that. What do you think?
Well, of course she pleaded not guilty, but what I love about this is that 2 hours before she was in that courtroom, her niece, who is supposedly living in the house that she said that, that she was living in,
yes,
was in court with a school personnel because she allegedly told that school person that she was going to blank him up. And so he filed for a restraining order. So this family, let me tell you.
This is, I thought my family put the fun in dysfunctional. This is like, wow.
Yeah.
Did you see her come out of her apartment yesterday? She her front door is under a staircase. Is that common in New York? Is that common in New York?
In the basement apartment. Yeah, basement apartment.
Oh. I usually only see rats crawl out from under staircases.
Some of those brownstones, those basement apartments are really nice.
Yeah, but not much for a view.
No, not much of a view. That's very true. But and she may have the whole brownstone. She may have all the floors.
Well, she's got the other ones rented out, but she's not reporting it.
But it could be one, and she just came out. She just chose to come out that door. So.
What do you think? What do you think about her? I think she's in a lot of trouble. I would love to see her go to jail because she weaponized the Justice Department. She was one of the people that the Biden administration allegedly picked around the country to go after Donald Trump, and it's very obvious because she campaigned on it. By the way, what are you thinking about this?
Listen, it doesn't look good. I'm not a lawyer, but I watch a lot of Judge Judy.
Yes.
Or I did in my formative years. Yes. So let me tell you. Yes. So here's the thing: the loan that she got states that she is the sole resident of that property.
Yes.
Now it's not, and she did also report rental income from that property on her taxes.
Yes.
So I don't know how you walk away from this. I think she walks away from it because she's got a D after her name.
Yeah.
And she only made $19,000. But it's only $19,000, and so it's not a big deal. And she's going to get a slap on the wrist, and she's not going to do any jail time. That's all I can think of.
We will see.
I mean, I could be wrong.
We will see. This is pretty interesting. Barry Weiss is really turning things upside down over at CBS, and she is now eyeing Brett Baer as the host to take over the evening news. I'm not a big fan of Brett since the election of 2020, but I can see his appeal. What do you think? That's an earthquake.
I saw that and I was like,
Can you believe
that's why
it?
Brett. But have you noticed Brett's dyeing his hair?
Oh well, of course he is.
But it's that. This is what men do. This is the mistake they make when they go to dye their hair.
Yes.
There must be a shade of this hair dye that's a little bit redder than what their hair is.
Are you trying to say something about me, too?
Oh, for the love of God, not everything's about you. And yes, you could do something with that thing on your head that you look like you comb it with a balloon sometimes. So.
Back to Brett Baer.
This is what happens when you try to make it about you. But I noticed last night, I'm like, Brett's dyeing his hair. It's always too dark and it has a slight reddish tint to it, and that's the dead giveaway. Have it done professionally, gentlemen. Yeah. If you are going to do it, have it done professionally, because when you do it out of the bottle, it doesn't look right.
Well, I will tell you, I use a little Just for Men. Okay,
that's fine.
Have you noticed Jesse Waters lately? He's letting it go.
It's gray.
It's become real gray. Holy cow, real gray. But
good for him.
Yeah, there's also this rumor of the sale of CNN. I believe they have to either return to journalism or start allowing a real conservative perspective on the network. I really believe that CNN's going to be the first to have to forsake the leftist narrative. What are you thinking about that?
So here's the thing. I think they already have started doing that.
Yeah.
They have Scott Jennings on there.
Yeah.
They will have, and I've said it a lot about CNN because I watch CNN, MSNBC. Like, I watch them all. Newsmax, obviously, Fox, News Nation. I watch them all. And MSNBC is the worst. They are hands down the worst. CNN will occasionally stumble into journalism.
Yeah.
So, I think that it's MSNBC that goes first. And they're already being spun off, right?
Yeah.
Like, with a new name or something because it's a dog.
But doesn't MSNBC, don't they have bigger numbers?
I don't know if they have bigger numbers.
CNN has spiraled into the abyss. They don't have any numbers. They're not making any money.
Well, that's probably because the liberals stopped watching them because they give a voice to someone like Scott Jennings.
Yeah.
And they do. They will stumble, like I said, into journalism and actually be even-handed. I've seen it. I saw it with they were talking to who was it? Hakeem Jeffries, and it was Anderson Cooper.
Called him out.
Exactly. So the left doesn't like that. So they're turning away from CNN, and they're probably going over to MSNBC. And they have such an awful reputation. More conservative or independent people aren't watching it just because they think they have a horrible reputation.
Yeah, I'm hoping that Chris Ruddy will take some of that money from that IPO and maybe buy CNN. That would be kind of fun, wouldn't it?
I think he's got his hands full with Newsmax right now.
I think you're probably right, yeah. Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Yes, I think they got a lot on their plate.
I think you're right. All right, we got to wrap things up. Mary Walter, where can people find your glorious presence on the interweb and your podcast?
Well, yes, my podcast is live on Tuesdays. It was just us, so I just had the viewers and me on Tuesday, and it was a lot of fun. It really was a lot of fun. If you want to watch it, it's live on Tuesdays, but not this Tuesday because I will be on the Bourbon Trail. But the week after that, we do Tuesday, 7:15 p.m. Eastern Time. It is live on YouTube, Getter, and Rumble. Just look for Mary Walter Radio. No S. There's only one of me. And then it's all available for replay on YouTube, Getter, Rumble, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Spreaker. Again, Mary Walter.
My God, just Google her name for crying out loud. It shows up everywhere. Mary, have a glorious weekend.
Doing that? Wait, have you been doing that?
All the time. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. Mary is so cool. Is so cool. Let's see here. Geronda Jenkins. We love Rob Carson. His show on Newsmax on Sunday absolutely rocks this world. Thank you. Deplorable Dinosaur. Hello. Mickey Hastings. Our governor is a Democrat and is a pastor. I think remember hearing as a child that religion and state have to stay separate. That's not in the Constitution, by the way. It talks about the establishment of a religion. A religion. Not that God and government are separate, because we get our laws from the Ten Commandments, among other things. So there is that. Let's see who else is watching here. T. Willis, what's going on? Yeah. Dookie Bear says, Baha Mary, that was funny. Comb it with a balloon. Yeah, okay, whatever. Beck Audenberry says, just saw Tish. Fear was in her eyes. It should be in her eyes. She's a wretched, awful woman. My God, she's a wretched, awful woman. Terrible woman. Terrible woman. I got to talk here in a second. Let me get ready. Let me get ready to talk. And Mary is wrong about this. Let me show you the show prep, okay? There's part of it. There's the other part of it. That's today, okay? And this is how much I've gotten through. This is how much I have left. This is how much I have left. I probably won't get to it because I get too much stuff going. I do about 10 hours of show prep for a 3-hour show. That's just the way it goes. I think it's important. It's important to do that. All right, what are we going to talk about here? Yeah, let's do this. Here we go, Brian. How much time I got? Probably a short amount, right? Okay, no problem.
With Talk
It's going to be about 3 minutes.
Okay.
FM and 99.9 FM in Harford County.
You know what world that I live in terms of politics. how many times, for one incident after another, have I said, Trump is coming. He's coming.
Stephen A. Smith thinks the investigation and discovery of the NBA's ties to organized crime are coming because Donald Trump is doing the investigation to go after the NBA, which is ludicrous. And honestly, this is where Stephen Smith, I mean, nice guy, whatever, never will be the president just because he's popular on television, and also should stay in his own damn lane because he has no friggin' clue. No clue at all as far as politics are concerned. He's a complete buffoon. And I'm not afraid to say it. I mean, Hannity has them all because they're all buddies and everything, and it's all neat and everything. They're best pals and all that. But honestly, he ought to just stay in his own dang lane. Here is Kash Patel's response to Stephen A. Smith.
I'm the FBI director. I decide which arrests to conduct and which not to conduct. That may be the single dumbest thing I've ever heard out of anyone in modern history, and I live most of my time in Washington, D.C. It's right up there with Adam Schiff. We arrest people for crimes.
Yeah. This is why Stephen A. Smith needs to stick to sports and prognostication and all that nonsense that he does. That's not nonsense. It's just, you choose your lane. Limbaugh could do both. Limbaugh do sports like the back of his hand. Limbaugh do politics like the back of his hand. He could pull it off. Stephen A. Smith cannot. He doesn't know anything about politics. Due to overwhelming demand, free silver is being offered from Birch Gold Group through the 11th, through Veterans Day. For every $5,000 purchased from Birch Gold by Veterans Day, Birch Gold will send you a free 1-ounce patriotic silver round that commemorates both the Gadsden and American flags. I'm holding it to you for you streamers. You can see it. It's really cool. It's really cool, and it's going up in value. Silver's going through the ceiling. Gold has gone up 60% this year. 60% this year. Did you hear that? What's your 401k doing? What is your IRA doing? Ain't doing 60%, is it? Want to convert it? Want to buy some gold? You want to invest in gold? Birch Gold is the company that I choose. I got an A+ rating for the BBB. I trust them because they have my money. Text my name, Rob, to 989898. Get a free info kit to claim your eligibility for free silver with purchase before November the 11th. Do so today. Again, text my name, Rob, to 989898 for Birch Gold, the company that I trust. There's the silver coin again. It's friggin' cool. Going back into the velvet pouch here that I carry in my pocket like a good luck charm. Thank you very much. Hour number 3 of the Rob Carson Show is on the way. We have got so much fun. Hollywood and Toto, Christian Toto, among other things. Also running for lieutenant government, John Reid joins us. Coming up next. Don't go anywhere.
informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
And by the grace of God, it is finally Friday. Welcome to the show. Please come inside and have a seat, and or whatever you're doing. You can stand. I don't care. But glad to have you here on the show that I think the only I can't think of another show, conservative radio program or any political show that does comedy like this. I was thinking about this. It's kind of like if Gutfeld and Rush Limbaugh had a love child. So kind of like that. Anyway, a lot of stuff coming up. My TV show is called Rob Carson's What in the World. It's on Sunday night on Newsmax at 8:30. It's following the Michael Savage show. So for Michael Savage listeners, you get a little whiplash when you go from Michael Savage to Rob Carson. Michael Savage, Dr. Michael Savage, thinks my show is hilarious, by the way. He actually came back on the radio a couple of years ago. He has done no other radio shows. He did a return to radio just for this show because the good doctor loves my television show. So watch it this weekend, 8:30 on Sunday. And if you get a Newsmax Plus membership, you can see the archive of the shows, which is always fun. And we're going to be gearing up. We're going to do a Thanksgiving show. We're going to a Christmas show and all that. And then we're making some cool changes in the show. Yeah, there's some things happening. So anyway, check it out. Go to NewsmaxTV.com, or you can go to Newsmax Plus and get a membership there. Newsmax is just doing a great job. They're doing a great job. To start the next hour here, I want to start with Abigail Spanberger. She's running for governor in the state of Virginia against Winsome Sears, who's a good and decent person. Abigail Spanberger is a Karen. She's a liberal Karen, just as left can be. She's down with the LGBTQRSTUV, WXYZ, radical nonsense in schools, CRT, yay, DEI, all of that. She is as left can be. She is a typical faculty lounge Marxist. So is her little lieutenant governor candidate, Ghazala Hazmi. She's a radical leftist. And yesterday, Abigail Spanberger, she released a word salad that would actually make Kamala Harris's word salads pale by comparison. So what I'm going to do here, and this, I'm not kidding here, I'm going to not play the entire answer, but I'm going to come back to it. I'm going to let it play continually in the background, okay? But you're not going to hear it, okay? I'm just going to come back to it. All right, does that make sense to you? I'm going to try and make this happen. But here is Abigail Spanberger. It's Spanberger, but I call her Spamberger. I just want you to know that. But anyway, here's the question from Katie Couric and the answer that goes on forever.
The recent presidential race and now in the gubernatorial race in Virginia has been transgender rights. And your opponent, Lieutenant Governor Winsome Earl Sears, has been advocating banning trans girls from sports. And I'm just curious why you think this has become such an animating issue in this race and in other races. And what are your thoughts on youth sports allowing trans athletes to participate?
Well, I think that we see, and I mean, it's about $30 million worth of attack ads against me related to trans youth.
So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pot that down here, and it's going to let the tape roll here, and I'm just going to come back to it because literally. When I come back, she's still answering the question, but she never answers the question. Here is something I want to mention, though. The number of students identifying as non-binary drops nearly half in 2 years. Fewer young people are identifying as non-binary. You know why? Because it was all a psyop to take advantage of children who were tortured by COVID nonsense. Yeah, and specifically teenage girls who were troubled anyway. And they said, oh, yeah, well, the reason why you're so sad, it isn't because, we separated you with COVID and everything, and you boys calling you or your masculinity toxic and everything. It's because you might be the opposite sex, or you might be non-binary, which never existed before, meaning you don't have a sexuality. So just incredibly stupid. Eric, let's see if the answer's still going. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. See if the answer.
Opponent is trying to, and even copied some of the language, notably the quote unquote, is for they, them element of that.
Okay, there you go. Okay. Still going. She's still talking. Eric Kaufman, professor of politics, University of Buckingham, compiled multiple student surveys, the decline of trans and queer identity among young Americans, because it was a giant psyop. He also included information from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention 2023 survey of U.S. high school students. The FIRE survey polled 50,000 undergraduates, mostly at major research universities, found that 3.6% of students identified as a gender other than male or female, meaning they're mentally ill, down from 5.2% in 2024, 6.8% in 2023, right there towards the end of COVID when their lives had been destroyed. Phillips Academy, 3% of students identified as non-binary this year compared to 7.4 2 years ago. Brown University reported 2.6% of its students identified as neither male or female, down from 5% both in 2022 and 2023. You remember when acid wash jeans were around, like in the late 80s, early 90s? Those were around for a while. This is the acid wash jeans of 2025. Hold on, let's see if she's still answering the question. Hold on one second. Here it is.
With or against kids who are, trying to figure out who they are, who are in, a challenging point in their life. Middle school and high school isn't easy for most people.
Okay, there you go. That's still the same. I'm letting the tape roll. That's still her answering that question. This is for real. Let's move on. The FIRE survey, let me see. Kaufman notes that the number of those who identify as non-binary, gender queer, or questioning or unsure, not transgender identifying people who identify as male or female. About 2.8 people in the U.S. identify as transgender, and they're insane, including 724,000 minors, according to the Williams Institute at the University of California, Los Angeles. In summary, Kaufman says their findings pointed out that only 3.6% of young adults identify as gender other than male or female. Again, they're insane. A steady decline compared to 5.2% last year, 6.8% in 2023. Let's see if she's still talking. Hold on.
Certainly not by the federal government.
There we go.
Or, the state government. And I say that actually, in talking to my daughters, trying to gauge, their opinions of things. And, one of them somewhat comically said, like, nobody likes to use the bathroom at school anyway. It's so messy and, everybody's loud, etc. And so, in some circumstances, there's single use.
Okay. All right, there you go. I'm going to come back to that. Again, I'm letting it roll. Right now, we're about 3.5 minutes into it. Jason Miyares demands that Jay Jones ouster after court document indicates reckless driving case under further criminal probe. The Attorney General candidate Jason Miyares blasted Democrat challenger Jay Jones after a court battle indicating the probe into Jones' I-64 reckless driving arrest, where, by the way, he was given a whole bunch of community service. He had 1,000 hours of community service for driving 116 miles an hour, and what he did is he did 500 hours through his own political action committee. And then the remaining 500 hours were logged for the NAACP of Virginia, which is a leftist organization. And he probably didn't have to do anything there. Maybe seal some envelopes, lick some envelopes or something. Legal documents obtained by Fox News in October did not indicate whether time logs were also filed with the sworn certificates of completion of 5 hours of work. So he didn't do anything. He didn't do 1,000 hours of community service. He said he did. He didn't log the time. He's a criminal. He's a creep. And he also then threatened House Speaker Todd Gilbert of Shenandoah, Virginia, with murder. Said he fantasized about murdering him and his children. Let's see if Abigail Spanberger is still
sorts
talking.
Of,
there it is.
Horrible crimes.
Oh my God!
Because they sort of want to bucket.
Same answer.
Threats are all about.
Same answer.
And for me, I think that what I have found is. I've had a lot of conversations with people along the campaign trail, and there's a lot of people who aren't really sure how they feel about the issue. But ultimately, what matters most to them is that they want all of our kids.
Transgender swimmer banned for 5 years after gender test refusal, blames insurance costs. It's another story. I'll just let her finish up.
But I don't have to. I want kids to be safe. I want them to learn, and then I want them to go get a job. And I think it's in those types of really just very human conversations where you'll find that community members are far more inclined to show grace to each other.
No, it's not fair for boys to compete with girls.
There might be real apprehensions or confusion
it's bizarre.
about kind of harder personal topics, but then also grace to kids who are the ones, frankly, who are trying to figure out who they are, or in some cases trying to tell the adults in their life who they are. So it's an interesting time, and the television ads certainly are creative.
Dear God, that's the answer to the damn question that happened 7 minutes ago. You know who drove this movement? You know who drove this transgender nonsense movie? Crazy cul-de-sac dwelling cat ladies.
We're going to use fascist talking points. Be ready to be called a fascist.
You are the Fourth Reich, and we are the resistance. And one more time, when my trans family is under attack, I'm going to stand up, fight back. Get ready.
This blatantly ignores science.
I'm queer, I'm the mom of a trans kid, and I'm an elementary school teacher. I would like to point out that by eliminating a minor's preferred pronouns is racist and Christian-centric.
This was all just a bunch of crap, and I predicted it years ago. Thank you very much.
Well, they have a lot of cats, and they're mostly Democrats like V.P. Harris.
Jim Gossett.
They cry when they lose. From their left-wing views, I wish they'd spare us.
Come on, sing it with me.
They're cat ladies. Whoa, 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 they're cat ladies. Talking about some miserable ladies who have clearly lost their mind.
People that are pro-life, I hate you.
Got called out by J.D. Vance. When he had the chance, he really nailed them.
Nail him.
They're too dumb to know. Kamala and Joe have really failed them.
Come on, cat ladies.
They're cat ladies. Don't have a child, they're cat ladies.
No Kings protesters.
Talking about some miserable ladies.
Elon Musk protesters.
Who are out of their mind.
There you go. That is Jim Gossett. That's it. That's who's running for governor against Chitterelli in New Jersey. That's what's running in Virginia for governor and lieutenant governor. Crazy cat ladies, liberal cul-de-sac dwelling Karens. That's what it is. And I think this year is going to be the end of the Karen, to be quite honest. Back to the HOA with you. Go back and ride people's butts about mold on their siding. But you have no business in government. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
joint.
Okay.
Relentlessly slowing the spread of the stupid every day. It's the Rob Carson Show.
Focus on sexual explicit material. I don't really care about that. I care about the gratuitous violence that children are experiencing.
That is Ghazala Hashmi. She's running for lieutenant governor as a Democrat in the state of Virginia, and John Reid is running as a Republican. That is a statement she made in 2023 during a public education subcommittee discussion on a bill that would give parents greater access to their child's materials and activities and allow them to challenge content in court if necessary. In other words, the radical LGBTQIA plus sexualization of your children nonsense that Virginia rejected, that she wants to bring back. John Reid joins us on the Newsmax Hotline. John, how you doing, my friend?
I'm great. I'm glad that we've got videotape now.
Oh man.
You know, what you say, if you are radical, is going to come back to haunt you. And this lady is, she's saying you don't care whether little kids see porn in the elementary schools. Are you kidding me? I think every normal parent, even if you're left of center, is going to say, now, wait a minute. I'm not, a conservative, but come on, we're not going to go with that.
Yeah.
And I'm going to make sure people know about it.
It's unbelievable. And this, she's living in the past, by the way, and so is her gubernatorial candidate, Spamberger. Did you hear her 7-minute answer where she never answered about transgendered boys who become girls in girls' locker room when she interviewed Katie Couric?
That's right, because she knows that most Virginians are not in alignment with her on these issues. She
7
knows
minutes.
that.
7 minutes. She didn't say. I just played it last break. I went through the entire break, and I would just come back to her answer that just rambled and meandered. She never did. Dude, I'm telling you. And John, they just did this new study. A number of students identifying as non-binary has dropped nearly half in 2 years because it was a fad, phase, psyop, and the two women who are running for governor and lieutenant governor in the Democrat Party are still living in this.
That's right. And imagine that normal young people would see the scars and realize that having your penis, testicles, or breast cut off might not be that fun, right? That's not cool. That's not fun. No matter what the Democrats try to tell you, probably not a good plan for your future. Thank God people are sobering up, and I'm glad there's some adults, and I'm one of them, who for years has been saying this is insanity and it has to stop.
Yeah, but you're a transphobe and a homophobe. Oh, wait.
You can't call me a homophobe. I love it when they try that. I love it when they try to call me a homophobe. Then they call me a racist, and I point out who my partner is for the last.
Because you look in the mirror and you go, "Oh, I'm scared."
That's right. Knock it all down. Everything they try to use to shut up conservatives, I push right back in their face.
You know what's.
I'm tired of it.
I know, me too. And you know what's really funny? Like, Scott Bessent is the first gay Treasury Secretary, and you know why he doesn't make a big deal out of it? Because nobody cares. It doesn't matter. You're just a great Treasury Secretary. Right. The same goes. You're the first openly gay man running for public office, like statewide in Virginia, right?
That's correct.
Yeah. Do you make a big deal out of it? Do you make it a big deal? You're checking some boxes. Who cares?
I don't lead with it. The only reason I even bring it up is to shut down the Democrats, and because if I don't bring it up, people think I'm being sneaky, and I'm not going to have anybody thinking I'm being sneaky. So I just lay it on the table, and I hope that people will judge me for my character and my business and professional and personal successes, and I think that should carry the day, I hope.
I saw a brief poll, you and Ghazala, and it's like neck and neck. In fact, I think you may be ahead by 0.2 of a point, which is pretty crazy. And if you look at normal polling, it usually underpolls Republicans always, by the way. Same goes with the gubernatorial race, and Jason Miara is pulling out from Jay Jones. What have you heard, and what are you seeing when you're out and meeting people, my friend?
3 polls that show that we're tied, and I'm hoping you're right that it's undersampling conservatives. But, there is a growing enthusiasm that we're going to pull off a big upset on Tuesday. Because, if you talk to people 2 months ago, there were a lot of folks who were very negative. And you know what I do when people get negative? I start working even harder. Yep. And I have not taken a day off since January 27th.
Wow.
I have gone to places that nobody else wants to go because they think there are no Republican votes. Last week I was at this dinner with the Crusade for Voters, which has been around since before Martin Luther King in Virginia. And everyone said, "Oh, my God, John, why are you doing that? You've been a sponsor for the dinner, and you're going to the dinner?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm going to go, because you know what? Black Virginians and I have a lot in common, and I'm going to stand up for them, and I'm going to do a good job for them. And I think if they get a chance to meet me and hear me talk, and I can listen to them and their concerns, we're going to find a lot of common ground, and I think I can earn some votes. Maybe not all of them, maybe not the majority, but they're open-minded people who are willing to listen to Republicans if we'll just put in the effort, and that's what I'm willing to do."
Well, I'm optimistic about the future of the country. Yesterday's amazing meeting with Donald Trump and some of his law enforcement, talking about how they cleaned up Washington D.C. Memphis crime is down 50%. I did this report in Maryland. I saw Maryland has lost 2 million residents. Other people have moved in, but younger people are moving out. They don't want to be a part of it. We cannot let Virginia become Maryland. My God in heaven, are you kidding? Maryland, the sky is the limit for Virginia, and I think you're the person who's going to take us there, brother.
I'm going to do my best, and I'm glad that we've had a stable, good, solid governor for the last 4 years. Glenn Youngkin saw what the Democrats were doing, complaining about the government shutdown and how it's damaging Virginia's economy, which is true. But then they go in, Mark Warner, Tim Kaine, our two Democrat senators, go in, and what do? Vote to keep the government closed down.
Listen, we've got to run. I know Youngkin is working on the SNAP benefits for Virginians. Real quick, where can people go to help you out, man? Come on.
JohnReid4Virginia.com, JohnReid for Virginia.com. I appreciate it, Rob.
God bless Godspeed over the weekend, my friend. I appreciate you. And I think we're going to have a victory. I really hope so. All right, let's take a break and come back from Hollywood in Toto. Christian Toto joins us on the other side of the break. And this is the Rob Carson Show. Hey guys, it's Carson. Forget fresh olive oil. I eat olive oil every day. I got rid of seed oils years ago. Life is too short to not have wonderful fresh olive oil, and I mean fresh. Olive oil packs the most flavor and healthy ingredients when it's fresh from the farm. And that's the problem with supermarket olive oils. They're not fresh. They can sit on the shelf for months growing stale. That's why I get my olive oil from small, award-winning farms, thanks to a fellow named T.J. Robinson, also known as the Olive Oil Hunter. When I tasted TJ Farms' fresh olive oils, I fell in love with their vibrant, grassy flavors. They're incredibly delicious on salad, veggies, pasta, meat, fish, you name it. And as an introduction to his Fresh Pressed Olive Oil Club, TJ is willing to send you a full-size $39 bottle of one of the world's finest artisanal olive oils, fresh from the new harvest, for just $1 to help him cover shipping. There's no commitment to buy anything now or later. Get your free $39 bottle for just $1 and taste the difference freshness makes. Go to GetFreshRobCarson.com. That's GetFreshRobCarson.com for a free bottle and pay just $1 shipping. GetFreshRobCarson.com.
halftime performer?
He's one of the leading and most popular entertainers in the world. That's what we try to achieve. It's an important stage for us.
This is Roger Goodell talking about Bad Bunny.
It's an important element to the entertainment value. It's carefully thought through. I would say that I'm not sure we've ever selected an artist where we didn't have some blowback or criticism. It's pretty hard to do it when you have literally hundreds of millions of people that are watching. But we're confident it's going to be a great show.
Yeah, I'm confident that I'm not going to be watching it. Bad Bunny at the Super Bowl for a number of reasons. Nobody knows his music. You're old. No, really, no. Nobody really knows his music. He might be popular internationally. Most of his songs are in Spanish. And he also dabbles in transgenderism, and he hates America. So, honestly, screw you, Roger Goodell. You woke nonsense in the NFL. You're still doing that virtue signaling in the end zones like I never thought about. Hey, maybe ending racism would be a good thing. Oh, thank you, NFL. Derp, derp, derp. Honestly, just pull your heads out of your rear ends and play football. Christian Toto joins us on the Newsmax Hotline. He, of course, has this glorious site. Hollywood and Toto does a podcast as well. Hello, my friend. How are you today?
I'm good. It's not 2020. We don't have to make these choices anymore. We can pick maybe a more mainstream entertainer, but
think about it. Think about this. You could have Creed. Okay, I know Creed. Some people love or hate. You could have. I'd say the Foo Fighters. I mentioned they probably wouldn't appear, but there were a host of Kid Rock. But, I think a lot of people are going to go, and I know TPUSA, they're talking about doing their own show, Christian. That's where I'm going to be, bro. I'm not going to be watching it. I'm not going to be watching Bad Bunny. I don't care about Bad Bunny.
Yeah, listen, it does open up opportunities. And we've seen this the last, 10 years or so now, where if Hollywood is going to swing far to the left, if they're going to ignore half the country, then the other half can make art. We can do things. We can share stories. We can write movies. We can create stuff that doesn't exist. I mean, look at Gutfeld. I mean, how long did it take for late-night TV to get a right-leaning show? I mean, it took for Fox News to say, hey, wait a minute, we can put something on there that appeals to half the country. I mean, it's the biggest duh. Yeah. And, Hollywood wouldn't do it. So
no.
Now,
did you see Barry Weiss is talking about maybe fantasizing out loud the possibility of adding Brett Baer as the CBS evening news anchor? And I'll bet the heads are melting in the CBS newsroom. Oh, my God, Christian, can you imagine?
Well, we've already seen it. It's been actually really comical to check out their reaction. I mean, Barry Weiss swoops in, describes journalism as journalism.
Yes.
There's a complete meltdown. And then she says, can you just maybe share what you've done over the last week? Another meltdown. I mean, it is farcical. I mean, they couldn't be more transparent in how bad they are at their jobs. And the fact that they're panicking that a center-left lesbian woman is coming in and taking over the company, and they're all freaking out. They're fire. This is genuinely funny stuff.
I hope that they will, if they decide to lean into journalism, maybe they will add some people who are genuine journalists, like John Solomon. I think John Solomon would be an amazing addition to their cast. I think even people like Matt Taibbi, Matthew Schellenberger, Michael Schellenberger would be fantastic additions to their commentary on CBS. And the thing is, they're journalists. They don't lean right or lean left. They particularly Schellenberger, right up the middle, just being a journalist. It would be the ultimate correction of how far left journalism has gone, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely. You just named some great people, and why that matters is because imagine the stories they could bring to CBS News that aren't being covered anywhere in traditional media. I mean, that's a real value add. And I think that would wake some people up. I mean, you're going to do 20 stories about how the White House reconstruction project is the end of democracy, or you're going to tell stories that really matter, that touch people's lives, that are based in the truth. I mean, my gosh, there's so much opportunity here. And I don't know if you and I talked about it, but I'm actually really skeptical that Barry Weiss can change things, because I think the rot is so ingrained, and there are so many people. I don't want to be mean. They have to go.
I think it's going to have to. Dude, it's going to have to, or they go out of business. That's it.
Yep.
That's it. I mean, honestly, listen, once the suits decide they want to change their mind, they want to save the network, doesn't matter what the underlings are saying. Listen, they tried to get rid of Dave Chappelle on Netflix, and they went out and danced around and stormed around and held up all these. And you know what the management said? Screw you.
Yeah.
So
They saw the money. They saw the bottom line.
What do you think about CNN, man? Because there's a lot of stuff. They're up for sale, and clearly CNN has got to alter its trajectory. It has to, or it's going to fade out of existence.
Well, I think it's just going to fade out because remember a couple of years ago, I forget the person who took over CNN. They fired Brian Stelter.
Yeah.
They got rid of a couple other deadweight people that just don't do their job well. And there was so much blowback behind the scenes that guy left. They brought Stelter back, and the channel is as crazy left as usual. I mean, Scott Jennings, God bless him, notwithstanding.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, there's a great example of they want to change things. They want to bring it back to its core mission. And they failed. They couldn't do it. And there were too many people who didn't want that.
You had mentioned, and I've been hearing a lot of promos for this Bruce Springsteen flick that's about, I've been hearing it on like XM satellite when I'm listening to it. What's going on with Bruce Springsteen? And I can't, again, another guy who completely forsook his audience, used to have a lot of conservatives, really loved his music. And he's just completely, he's called them all sorts of awful things. What's he doing now?
Yeah, just to get on that directly, two things he did. One is his ticket prices went sky high. And rather than saying, listen, I'm the boss, I'm the blue-collar guy, he basically said, hey, I put on a good show. And he does. There's no doubt about it. And he essentially defended the high prices instead of saying, you know what, I'm going to do something about it because I care about my fans. So there's that. And then his hard left posturing while he was obviously stone silent during the Biden years. I mean, that's disgusting. So his new movie coming out, it's basically looking at the making of the album on Nebraska. It's called Springsteen Deliver Me From Nowhere.
Yeah.
And, you'd think a Springsteen movie would be a big deal, at least commercially. And the reviews have been mixed to good but not great. And the box office looks terrible. It might not even make $10 million this weekend, which is a very bad sum for a biopic like that. Listen, you and I complain about Springsteen, but he's one of the rock icons at this point. He's a living legend, and he deserves some respect. And the fact that his movie is kind of generating a big yawn, that tells you something, too.
I remember listening to the album Nebraska. The album Nebraska is a very stark album. It's him, his guitar, and a harmonica. And I've listened to it. There's some songs on there that are amazing about his brother, who he was a sheriff's deputy, and he let his brother go across the state line. It was a freaking beautiful, haunting song. It's an amazing album. And it's just a damn shame that he has decided to bed down with the left. Let me tell you, I got a friend named Mark Reardon. I think you might know Mark Reardon.
I think I do too, yeah.
Yeah, in St. Louis. He went out to L.A. like 30 years ago, and he goes into a movie theater. And by the way, he's the biggest Springsteen fan ever, right? I mean, just every album, everything, crazy. He goes into the theater. He looks up. In front of him, Bruce Springsteen, Patty Cialfa. He taps him on the shoulder and says, Mr. Springsteen, I'm your biggest fan. The boss says, well, come up here and sit beside us. And he sat between, Bruce Springsteen sat between my friend Mark and Patty Cialfa and even shared his friggin' popcorn with him for 2 hours. And that was before, now Bruce Springsteen found out my friend is a, conservative host in St. Louis. He probably wouldn't have anything to do with him. If you'll hold on, Christian, I want to talk about what's coming to theaters. What's old is new again. We'll do that in a second. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
Here's a
It is the Rob Carson Show. And by the way, Doug Collins, Secretary of Veterans Affairs on Newsmax, is saying that a donor has stepped forward to give $130 million to cover military paychecks this round. That's pretty cool. Good. Democrats are just being awful, petulant little children. They don't care about the suffering of people who are missing a paycheck. And I know what it's like to go paycheck to paycheck. When you miss one, everything falls apart. You're missing payments. You're missing rent. You're missing groceries. It is not easy. It is not easy to have a family in the United States, particularly after 4 years of Joe Biden's miserable presidency. So that's some good news there. Christian Toto, HollywoodInToto.com, by the way. Wedding Crashers back. What's going on with this?
Yeah, they've been doing this a lot more. I think it's a great thing where they bring back older films. Often it's tied to an anniversary.
Yeah.
This time it's 20 years since we've seen The Wedding Crashers break into theaters. It's a really good film. I watched it about a year or so ago, and it holds up beautifully. It's also a time where we could tell wacky jokes. We could be inappropriate. We could be offensive at times. And because, the characters in Wedding Crashers, they're not role models. They're just funny and they're goofy.
Yes.
And they also get their comeuppance to a certain degree throughout the film. So there's that.
Yeah.
So, I just miss these kind of movies. I miss sort of the young Vince Vaughn who's so wacky and so in control.
Yes.
So I just think it's great. But it's also going to maybe shame any recent comedies, and I can't even think of that many recent comedies in general.
Yeah.
And just show them how it's done.
We
can have wild and raucous comedy.
I love
back in the theater.
I love the Vince Vaughn movies when he was working with Ben Stiller. I love Old School. Oh my God, I love Dodgeball. Dodgeball's that's Gen X, baby. That's Gen X, the last analog generation. The great comedies. I want to see There's Something About Mary come back to the big screen. Such a good movie,
explode, right?
Dude. That's but Old School is one of my favorites. I freaking love it. I love it. Remember what was it? What was the '90s movie? Where it was Vince Vaughn, Swingers. Remember Swingers?
Oh yeah.
Swingers was the original Vince Vaughn as a catty young dude, just living life to get a little, have a little fun. I mean, it was like the precursor to what was the HBO show about the
Entourage?
Entourage. It was basically Entourage, 1995, right? It was Entourage.
Yeah, another show they probably couldn't make today.
Oh, no.
Too bro-centric,
No. Hey, I was looking on some of your, on your column on Hollywood and Toto, some of the contributions you have, your couple movies you might check out. This is one I haven't heard in a while, dude, and I remember watching this movie, and I've seen it several times, and I don't like scary movies. Jacob's Ladder from 1990, and it's a horror movie, but it's also the story of a guy who's a drug-addicted Vietnam veteran, isn't he, or his father was? I haven't seen it in a very long. It's a creepy, weird, mind-blowing movie with Tim Robbins.
Yeah, and apart from other films, and I think they remade it a few years ago. I think no one really cared to watch it and didn't have the impact. But I haven't seen it in a while.
Wow.
That's actually my guest critic Barry Wurst, who does some great stuff for Hollywood and Toto, and he kind of gave us a retrospective look on it. Yeah, it's really visually dynamic. It's different, and Tim Robbins is a very underrated actor. He's versatile. He's also been rather interesting in recent years. He's always been very progressive, and he's been a little more clear-eyed of late, which I give him a lot of credit for. And by the way, I interviewed him years ago in D.C., and he's the only person I ever interviewed where I was recording him so I'd get every quote properly, and he was recording me in case I screwed up or I put words in his mouth.
But
so,
you know what? Tim Robbins and Richard Dreyfuss are both classic liberals. Richard Dreyfuss would literally go to conservative events. When my friend Mark Reardon, they became friends. Richard Dreyfuss is an open-minded man. He never forsook his liberal leanings, but he would go to conservative conventions. He'd go to, all of these. I don't know if he went to CPAC, but he did. And so I give them credit. And Robbins is a man you can have a conversation with.
Yeah, absolutely. We had a great chat that time, and he's a smart guy. I love, the left has gone so far left that when we have a classic liberal, someone who's progressive and honest and sober, it's a blessing because we can have a conversation, we can agree to disagree, and we can debate. Because I guarantee Tim Robbins wouldn't shrink away from a debate. He'd just have a conversation and agree to disagree.
Yeah, also, Barry wrote a piece on Tremors, the perfect comedy horror hybrid. What a freaking masterpiece. What a masterpiece. That movie with Kevin Bacon, oh my God, it's fantastic.
To me, the horror comedy mix is very difficult to get just right. But when you do it, it's amazing. And, American Werewolf in London, Shaun of the Dead.
Yes.
My personal favorite from my childhood, Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. And, of course, Tremors is right up there.
Yeah, and I've watched Sinners again, by the way. Now I think I've seen it 4 times. It's worth it. It's worth it. Christian Toto, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for being on the show today. Any big plans for the weekend?
Oh, never. Just taking care of my kids and watching a lot of hockey. That's all.
All right, brother. Who's your team, by the way?
I root for the Islanders, who haven't been good. Well, they're troublesome. But I live in Denver now, so I go for the Avalanche.
I'm going to tell you, Washington, D.C., it's crazy, but it's a hell of a hockey town, man.
We got Ovechkin, my gosh.
It is a hell of a hockey town. All right, Christian, where can people find your podcast and everything?
Well, it's on YouTube, it's on iTunes, it's on Spotify. Just check out Hollywood in Toto, and you'll find it.
All right, thanks. I appreciate you. Have a great weekend. Yeah. All right, real quick, I want to mention this. Birch Gold has extended their free silver with gold promotion because of overwhelming demand. I keep showing you this coin that Birch Gold will give you with a qualifying purchase, $5,000 invested in gold from Birch Gold. By the way, gold has gone up 60% in value this year, and it's this wonderful silver round that has the Gadsden and American flags on it. It's beautiful. It's 1 troy ounce of silver, which has gone up in value dramatically. It was up to, I think, $54 last week, and gold up 60% this year. If you'd like to convert an existing IRA or 401k into tax-sheltered IRA and physical gold, you now can get a free silver honoring America's veterans. And if you're current or former military, Birch Gold is waiving custodial fees for the first year on investments of any amount. Meaning, would they keep your gold for you and watch your gold for you? You get charged for that. It's worth it. Trust me. Anyway, text my name Rob to the number 989898 for a free info kit on gold. Claim your eligibility for free silver with a purchase before November 11th. Again, it's Birch Gold, and text my name Rob to 989898. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. All right. Let's see who's on here. A lot of people, and I tell you what, it's going crazy on YouTube. Man, we're meeting all sorts of people on YouTube. Gerond A. Jenkins, right? Or Geronda Jenkins, I don't know. Says likes Mary Walter. She's great. She is, isn't she? She's just great. Steel Ovaries. I like that. Steel Ovaries. Dude, I need the Cat Ladies song on iTunes, please. Go to Jim Gossett Comedy, Patreon at Jim Gossett Comedy. It's there. Patreon.com/Jim Gossett Comedy and become a member there, $10 a month, and you can have all the parodies. He's done 3,000 freaking parodies on my show. 3,000 parodies on my show. It's amazing. It's remarkable. He's a friggin' genius. He's a genius indeed. Let's see. We got Tom K1 over there. Round to Pony. Curtis 747 on Rumbly Roo. Always good to see you guys. She-Brat, Curtis 747, as I said. I'm trying to figure out what to do this weekend. I thought about getting out of town and going up to Rehoboth because they got a big festival, Halloween festival. I don't know if I got a lot of things to do around the house, around the apartment. Thank you very much. I love my little apartment. It's kind of cool. I got my Led Zeppelin print yesterday. It's a piece of crap. I was very disappointed. I waited 2 months to get my Led Zeppelin print, and it was not very good definition. They did a crappy job of framing it, and and there was a thumbprint hole in the middle of it. I'm like, you're kidding me. I wouldn't hang it in my dorm room. It really pissed me off because I waited 2 months for the dang thing. Robert Plant, Jimmy Page on there. It was beautiful. I was like, unbelievable. Beautiful. Yeah. I showed you a picture of it a while back, and it was a piece of crap. So I got to send it back or whatever, get a refund. We'll see. All right. I got to talk here. Last break. Should we play some satire? Let's do that. Okay. Oh! AC/DC. Oh, I'm going to be listening to some music this weekend in Buck the Bronco. I'll be driving around. I haven't decided what I'm going to do this weekend. I thought about going up to Rehoboth, Delaware, where Joe Biden is, do the ding-dong dash, go up to his door, ding-dong dash. It's not very fun because it takes him an hour and a half to answer the door. So you're just standing there, and then you ding, and you run away, and then you come back an hour later. He finally comes to the door, and he doesn't know who you are. It's a terrible man. It's a terrible mess. Oh, my God. Oh, my TV show. Make sure to watch my TV show this weekend. I think I mentioned that earlier. One of the big songs of the week I thought was really good. I thought we'd wrap things up with Comedy Day. Jim Gossett. Somebody just mentioned on YouTube they really want the Crazy Cat Lady song. Get it on iTunes. We're not going to do that, but if you want to help Jim Gossett out, go to patreon.com, Jim Gossett Comedy. I wanted an overall theme song for Donald Trump's administration thus far. And we came up with this.
To the town of Portland I said in the guard, Antifa, they are gonna get you hard.
Come on.
The Democrat mayor's getting in my way. Go ahead, punks, and make my day. F around and find out.
Theme song.
F around and find out.
Yep.
Schumer's gonna find out. I mean business and I'll get my way. Pencil Neck and Chris Ray, for your crimes you will pay. You have both been found out. Hope you get a lengthy prison stay. Listen up, Hamas, I am warning you. Break the ceasefire and you'll be through.
Boom.
Democrats, hang your head in shame. For the shutdown, you gonna get the blame.
Yeah, right.
F around and find out.
Come on, bring it.
Mess around and find out.
That's what they're doing.
F around and find out. In the end, I'm gonna win the day.
Yeah, the Democrats are going to try to do
Find
everything
out.
they can to make things really big and really ugly, just short of a civil war. I'm not screwing around here. They are. They're very violent. They're awful, and they're dying like movie vampires. They really are. They're going to go out with a bang. I don't know what that bang is going to be. I'm leaving it up to Donald Trump, the DOJ, and whoever else is necessary to end this bat guano crazy nonsense. But in the meantime, what I do here, I think, and what I do for you is I represent you in Washington, D.C., and we use humor and leading edge opinion as a weapon against them because they can't defend themselves when you mock and ridicule them and when you play a satire that is based in truth. That's what I did for Rush Limbaugh for many years. That lives on today. That's what we do. Follow me on social media all weekend. I'm going to be getting out and about all at Rob Carson Show. Watch my TV show, Rob Carson's What in the World. I mean that. So I want your help on this. Get those ratings up so everybody goes, holy crap, Rob Carson's What in the World, the best damn show ever. Donald Trump thinks I'm the funniest guy on TV because of that show. God bless you for show. God bless America as founded Donald Trump as he makes this country great again. And until Monday, do not catch the stupid. Bye, guys.
All right, Robbie, have a good weekend.
That was an epic show.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.